noticed a little thing between you and Brett.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.
Actually, he flips the conversation. He goes, I've noticed a little thing between you and Brett.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.
conversation. He goes, I've noticed a little thing between you and Brett.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.
Actually, he flips the conversation. He goes, I've noticed a little thing between you and Brett.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.
matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do.
Alrighty.
The adventure begins.
So, like every session, we'll go ahead and recap what we got off from on last session. As chaos erupted on the battlefield around them, and all these smaller battles were popping up between these rock monsters and those that survived and could defend themselves, and the guards tasked with protection. Rashi's cart was directed to the rear. One of the Dragonborn upon the cart asked the group to assist them, and they followed. The guard cart, uninformed in time, ran aground into some sort of liquid dirt that swallowed the cart and horses, and one of the Dragonborns on board, with some outside Nori help. The rest got to safety before being attacked by these rock monsters, and between some handy attacks by the guards and mainly Rashaw getting some really good hits in, everyone was able to finally put down these behemoths, with the last one giving off a terrifying visage of some being crawling out of the stone mouth before dissipating into the void. As the survivors of this encounter collected themselves and were healing, they moved to the next nearest battlefield to assist there, and after some time, all the battles had ceased. In the aftermath, everyone was rounded up and moved about half hour of travel westward before setting up the town and starting the healing process. All in all, 3/4 of the carts remained. 3/4 of the carts remained. 3/5 of the civilian population and 1/2 of the guards survived. It was after these numbers were garnered that the head of the guard had some hard decisions to make. But as far as our group goes, they were given commendation for their assistance by the officers of the guard, and were overall warmly accepted into the middle part of town. With food and drink and entertainment, a small reprieve of the battles and the enjoyment of those that survived enveloped the town, and our party, after having a discussion with Rashi about their next moves, bed down for the day to heal from their tumultuous night. And that's where we resume. You guys get your long rests in, so all healing that is needed for that. By the time that you all would wake up, it's just before sundown. The town itself is starting to come alive once more, and you know that you have another night of travel before you guys get to Bagram. But as you're waking, food is already laid out before you. Someone must have dropped it off as you were sleeping. So, no need to use rations, and your breakfasts are already prepared. But, for the most part, the night is yours.
Kaporin, after eating his, was it considered breakfast?
Yeah, you guys just woke up. So it's not the middle of the night, it's
Yeah.
right before sunset.
Okay. Kaporin's just gonna be double checking on everyone nearby, making sure everyone's okay. Maybe if people want, he'll play a song for them. But at the time that Kaporin has nothing else to do, then just make sure double check.
I mean, if you want to play a song, you're more than welcome to. It's more of it's the pre-process of wrapping up the town to head out once again.
Okay. Kaporin's gonna see if he can play a nice little more wake up song.
Is there an armor shop open by chance?
There's a blacksmith who's still got some of his stuff out and open.
So you all awaken to a nice little song from Gaborn.
Nothing too loud, nothing too fancy, but just Kaporn stretching the old fingers.
Always got to be prepared.
Be prepared.
I wanted to ask. I believe you said Saren's con damage lasts for a week. Since we just finished long rest, should I knock 1 day off of that?
Correct. Rashi, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I said that there is a blacksmith still open.
Yeah. Rashi's gonna go see if he has what armor he has, if he has any.
All right. Um,
I'm kind of laggy right now because our weather here sucks at the moment, so it's messing with my internet a little.
so this blacksmith is Durgar, decently young for the head blacksmith of a town, but he's got a decent amount of wares out, and as far as what he has available to purchase at the moment, he's got a few sets of, it looks like, plate mail, some chain mail, a few chain shirts, a couple shields, and some half plate and ring mail.
Okay. Okay. Um. Hmm. Anything?
Anything what?
A half plate is still
Yeah.
considered medium, right? Is any of the armor magical by?
Asking him, they have. You're asking for the for medium armor, right?
I would like to get medium armor because I don't see her wearing heavy armor with the uh, the guarding and all that kind of stuff. I see her needing to be able to keep her full movement, and I know that heavy armor will uh, screw her movement up a little bit. So I would like to stick with medium armor.
I think the only thing heavy armor does in 5th edition is gives you this.
Yeah, it just gives you disadvantage on stealth.
Heyo.
So the only medium armor magically that they have on them is a +1 chain shirt.
But okay, do they have other magical armor? Because if it's pretty decent on par with what I have, then I might go to heavy. I just looked, and apparently I get a +1 to my AC if I
Yeah,
wear heavy armor.
so for heavy armors, they have that is magical. They've got. Hold on 1 second. So the one that he's the most proud of is his own make of a Duergar style plate mail. Um, he says he's one of the only people to make this type, and he hasn't really given it a name yet. But that is magical. It's enchanted. He's also got. +1 plate mail. And then he has. One that he's just bought in, and he calls it a platinum chainmail. It doesn't actually look like the platinum coins, he just calls it that.
It's extra shiny.
Right.
You broke up a lot during that, was it?
I'm just thinking.
While he's thinking, anybody else want to get anything done before you you guys
Yes.
get ready to move out?
Like,
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna.
it,
Saren's.
it sparkles in the sun or something. I would like to know more about his.
You're breaking up a lot, Rashi, so just go ahead and type it in the chat so I can tell you what things are.
Yeah, while he's typing, Saren is gonna ask a few guards. He's gonna cast tongues on himself first, and then he's gonna go ask a few guards if I guess he wouldn't know because he didn't. Okay. He's not gonna cast tongues on himself yet. He's gonna go and see if he can find the magic shop and see if it's still around after the ambush.
Okay, so you're just looking for it?
Yeah, because I never got the name of the sign.
Yeah.
Or the name of the shop.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an investigation check. Rashi, as far as the Duragar's chainmail, he starts to take pride into it. And so he kind of leans into you and starts showing you the different portions in which he's done some artistic bits, but he's like, no, the real thing that's gonna make this better than anything else that you've ever worn or going to wear. It has a special effect. The way that you wear it, and when you're in battle and you take a significantly large hit, in which usually it would crumple other armors and sometimes even people down just by the single hit alone. This one, well, it merely allows you to put your full weight behind everything and deflect such a hit to where it doesn't nearly half to even more than half less of the damage that you would have taken. Saren, with that investigation, you do not find anything.
Then I'll probably chill out where the group's hanging out because I don't really have any other business in
Okay.
town.
Our city basically like sitting on top of where we ambushed.
No, like I
or-
said, they moved a half hour westward.
and what I wanted to do doesn't matter anymore.
You're just gonna start poking stuff.
I was gonna see like if I could figure out what these creatures were that attacked us, but it's fine.
Well, you do remember that from the battles, every time one of them fell, they just dissipated into dirt.
Yeah, I was hoping to find some sort of residual ash or something, but it's all good. I figured there
Scoop some
wouldn't be
stuff up.
anything anyways.
Put it in your left shoe. Yep.
My second left shoe, yeah.
Turns into Wally.
All right. So Rashi, he would take your armor for trade. Look at it, and okay. Your armor would equate to trading your armor. He'll go ahead and give you, since you're doing a trade straight up and not just selling it. He'll give you 600 trillion worth of credit for it. But the armor that he is talking about is going to be in the realm of 2,000 trillion.
Ouch.
Oh dear, that's really expensive.
Yeah, so the armor that he was talking about, basically,
I mean, naturally so, it should be expensive.
so his armor, where'd it go? And I lost it. Oh, I know why I lost it. Wrong page. Yeah, so it basically allows you to cancel a single critical hit done against you for each long rest.
Yeah, that's cool.
As well
It
as a
should be
plus 2 to your
expensive.
AC.
Let me go with oh, that's fancy. Super fancy. It should be called Unbash. Let me go. Sorry, I don't mean to keep us all with the riveting tale of Rashi buying armor, everybody.
Oh, we've had plenty of shopping episodes.
Uh, you said that. Is there any other heavy armor that's magical?
Yeah, I said he's got. He's got plate mail. That is +1 plate.
How much is
If
that?
you're trading in yours, it would only be another 200 trillion.
Okay, still out of my price range. So let's go with whatever the sticking with medium armor, I guess. I think you said there was
Yeah,
a
the
plus
chain
one
shirt.
medium, right? So the half plate
Yeah.
is just regular half plate.
Out of the medium armors, it was only the chain shirt that had the +1 or magical. But if you're trading in your armor for that, he'll give it to you for a straight trade.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so go ahead and remove your armor and add a chain shirt +1. So, anybody else would like to do anything before you
Cool.
guys, before the town heads out?
Is there some sort of like gadget guy, kind of like the person that had the gonging orb and all those sort of people?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Looking around, doesn't seem to be any knick-knack or gadget shops around.
Sounds good. The other thing I would look for is a coconut vendor, but
Yeah, they just came from the
there not being
desert,
one.
so coconuts in short supply. I'm sorry. Anybody else?
It's all good.
But coconuts migrate.
Kaporan's good. He's just performing up until he leaves. After probably 20 minutes before he's gonna get the horses ready for everyone.
I guess Bryn would ask either if Rashi comes by or a Dragonborn or one of the people that we fought with, if or through one of the many interpreters of the group, if so. You said it was one night until the next town, and then is that town also a traveling town, or is it a settlement that stays there?
It's still a semi-nom. It's half and half. There is a permanent residence that stays there, but there is also nomadic carts that attach themselves to the towns.
So it technically expands and shrinks
Yeah.
throughout the months, kind of thing.
I'm so sorry. I was gonna ask another question, then I completely blanked.
Sounds like Bryn.
Thanks.
Nora, you got anything?
Nope, she just looks a little tired, but she looks determined.
Okay.
Well, this is a different question, but not what I had in mind. Does Rashi say anything about the metal or the armor, or just keeps it to herself?
Well, I know you guys talked about possibly moving forward together, once you reach the next destination, but besides that, besides Kaporin, and Kaporin's busy playing music instead of having any conversations. Don't think Rashi really has any hard and fast reason to be constantly hanging with you guys. So it's up to Rashi whether or not. But I can go ahead and guess. Most likely, that's no. She doesn't say anything about her armor.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no. Bryn would probably try to find a place for rations. Probably bring Saren around since he can do his fancy hand thing and cast tongues on everybody or whatever, and figure out how to talk to them. Or Kaporin, but he probably looks busy playing, so she would let him be alone.
Where you say we were trying to go?
I wanted to get rations just in case.
Okay, yeah. When she tells me that, I'll cast tongues on both of us.
Okay. So, going around, there is no like hard and fast general store that has prepared rations. It's more of going to different people who possibly have food prepared and salted for traveling, and just buying portions of their stock in different ways. How many rations worth do you guys want?
I guess you would have asked Nori and Kaporin if they would like any as well. Might as well buy for the group.
Yeah.
Saren
That'd
is
be good.
looking for 8.
Saren wants 8.
You know what? No. I said something here. He's on trip, but he's gonna get 4.
I'd like to get 5.
Kaporin?
Porn has 6 rations left on him. Can you get 4 more?
Ritual?
I will do 6 more, please.
So 19 plus whatever you want, Brune.
And then
27.
8, so...
Alrighty then, 27 rations. That would take you between about 3 different places, buying stuff that they might have for you, and that will be 27 trillion.
I don't think we ever clarified. Did I end up fixing or replacing the thing I broke with my thieves' tools?
I think you did.
I
Yeah,
can't
it was
remember if I
during that
actually- it was
session you
literally-
found another item that would work. So it's technically not part of your thieves' tool, but it fills the role.
Would like the blacksmith guy have an opportunity to get a new actual part of a thieves' tool
You need
tension
to
rod
make
kind
one.
of thing?
Is it
No.
mendable?
I also probably wouldn't have had it. Well, I guess I probably would have. I wouldn't want to have left it. So
But if you leave one of your other tension rods and say you want the same thing, he could make one for you. Obviously, they're about to pack up and start moving, so you'd wait till you get to the next location, and then he can reset up and then make it. So it's not like it's going to have it ready in the next 10 minutes, but...
yeah, I'll do that though for sure. And then actually, while he's at it, I will pull out one of my blowgun needles, one of the walloping ones, just because the other ones are venomous or whatever they are, and give him that one and ask him for more of those too.
Okay. So, how many of the needles do you want? Obviously, they're not going to be walloping, but...
Yeah, he'll probably just ask for another dozen.
They come in bundles of 50.
Then
Alright.
50 it is.
Okay, so to be making all these and make your tension rod, and obviously these are custom orders, something he hasn't made before. That's going to be 10 trillion.
Sounds good. And then he would say, I like your stuff, little bird, to him as a thank you in Durgar.
He'll give you a half-cocked smile and just kind of nod towards you as he is still in the process of packing things up.
Sounds good. And then I'm good for continuing on.
All right. So last chance for anybody to do anything.
Saren's good for now.
All right. So, as night descends and the rest of the shops start to pack up their things, the horn gets blasted throughout the town, and the last few people who were going between the carts hurry to get to their uh, modes of transportation as you guys prepare yourselves upon your horses. Uh,
Are you gonna be a horse or no?
Yeah, I'll have to be a horse. We don't really have any other options.
I mean, we can find you a horse, and I'm totally gonna try and sneak onto the top of a cardigan. But
I'll probably wait till because you just left and I don't want to turn to a horse and then not find you. So I think I'll wait for you to come back, and then if we keep on moving, I'll try to find something.
Give me a stealth check.
I changed my dice on or on D&D Beyond. This is what I get.
Yep. So you find the nearest 3-story cart and start to climb up it. End up going up the backside of it, thinking you have this strong handhold, when it really is an openable windowsill. And as you grab it and do it, someone pushes from the inside at the same time, and sends you just careening down to the ground. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the floor.
And just do a and then just get up, brush myself off, and I'm like, all right, fine, and I'll walk away.
I think this is karma telling you do not get on these people's cots.
I think I natural one the last.
I think you rolled a
time,
2, actually.
It wasn't anything good, that's for sure.
But good thing you weren't on a cart last time, or else you would have been away from everyone else's battle. So, Rachal limps his way back over to you, Nori, and kind of just the whole, spins his hand in the air as, come on, turn into a horse already.
Impatient. Okay, and then I do.
About it, it would be a grandiose bow, like a, after you, my lady.
I think I do the same thing. Kind of go a little bit away from everything, turn to a horse, and let Racha hop on.
I just kick open my palanquin like it was a lawn chair and pop it on top. And
Nori,
sit
you
down.
kind of go around the group and transform into a horse. And then as, you're done transforming, you kind of, test your new body. You look over to the left, and there's just this Duragar kid just staring at you with his mouth open. And you just
Oh, he's a
slowly
freaking kid.
trot away as the kid's just looking at you with his mouth open still, like, the fuck was that?
Part of me is so, I'm not doing this, but part of me is so tempted to just reach out with my mind and go, no one will ever believe you, and walk off. I'm not doing that, but just because that crossed
And
my
as
mind.
you return,
It's like a
so as you
toenail.
return, Racha already has his pelican waiting, just holding it there, like. A few moments later, as everyone is ready and settled to start moving, the 2 horn blasts are sounded throughout the town, and the dust storm commences. Noticeably smaller than previous dust storms, but still, the trudging your way westward, dodging the kicked up dirt and debris from horses and carts in front of you, the adventure continues on. I need someone to roll a d10 for me.
I'll do it.
Okay. The night sky is decently clear, not many clouds or inclement weather approaching or interrupting you in any way, shape, or form. You can tell that the speed at which everyone is moving is a bit slower than the night prior, with the possibility of another ambush, everyone's not quite as free flying as they would be from previous nights. But nevertheless, you guys continue onwards, and the night is pretty calm. No interruptions, no impedations. You guys make decent time, and before you know it, even before expected, you guys arrive over an embankment and can see a town set ahead of you. Lights ablaze on the inside, and looks like many different structures in haphazard fashions around a centralized, walled in portion of a town sits on the horizon. Moving towards it, the speed picks up slightly with this now in sight, and within almost by like 3 a.m., you guys are able to reach the city of Bakram. The carts immediately dividing themselves northward and southward to encompass this town and add their already huddled numbers that are already camped out at the city into an even expansive situation. The town itself that has the walls around is in a rectangle shape in the middle, but the way that these carts have laid themselves out around the town, it's a rectangle inside of a haphazard oval that circumvents everything. So your guys' town of Demlador adds to the chaos of mishmashed streets and no real distinction of what goes where, but everyone is finding a comfortable spot for their temporary / permanent setup for at least the next few days. And welcome to the town of Bakram.
Well, that was quicker than expected.
Yes, but after the trip these people have had, definitely hoping for a calm few days.
Agreed.
Anything's better than what we were experiencing out on the road. Hopefully, we'll be able to find what we need here.
What's our first order of business now that we're here?
Well, I know Rashi said her mother lived here.
Nope.
No,
No,
it's
not in
the
Bakram.
next one. Sorry. It's the next one. Never mind. Or it's Kember. That's what it is.
Yes.
Sorry. Well, we're trying. Go ahead, Rashi.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, Rashi's gonna go see about transportation to Kember. She's not fully used to like group things, so she just kind of like she wasn't traveling with them necessarily, but she just kind of like if the group's expecting her to be with them, she just kind of walks off without like saying anything.
I thought we already had one of those, but okay.
Rachel looks over and is like, respect.
Well, now you have two.
Can I try and stealth to follow her?
Yep, roll stealth.
I rolled a 3, a 1, and a 2 so far. This is incredible.
As soon as you start to go, you accidentally step on Kaporan's foot.
Ah!
He doesn't
But
weigh
he's
that
got
much.
talons.
I'm imagining talons just going straight through my boots, just into my toes.
I run away briskly and just sort of catch up and walk alongside Rashi.
Kaporn's just there and screaming. It's like, what the fuck happened? As he just looks over and just sees them walking away.
At least he didn't stab you.
Oh, Kaparin, I'm sorry for hitting you the other day.
No problem. As he's rubbing the top of the foot. Um, but yeah, Kaporn's just gonna sit there in pain for now, and unless the girls want to go do something.
Bryn's just gonna shake her head at you, whining in pain. You need to suck it up. You need to get stronger.
Nori thinks about healing him, but does nothing.
This is the guy that's got a crippled foot, I believe, right? Because of his limp or whatever.
No sympathy.
Yeah, just a 20 feet per minute speed limit here.
Actually, Bryn, I was if you don't have anything you'd like to do now that we're in town, I was hoping to look for a shop that specialized in magic and maybe find that communication spell I was talking to you about.
She'd nod her head. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. And she'll look at Nori. Nori, did you want to try to get a horse or something instead of having to transform every night?
I've been thinking about it, but they've been short on horses, and with these traveling things, I don't know if they have any to spare.
Bryn will shrug. Well, we'll keep an eye out while we're in the town, I suppose.
Do you mind if I come with?
She's gonna shrug. I don't see why not.
So the two girls, Kaporin and Theron, travel into the town.
All right. And it is a town. It's lively. There's plenty of people moving about, even though parts of this town are nomadic and part are permanent or of some degree. The town seems to live in both worlds, both a nocturnal and a daytime situation. Plenty of the shops are still open, plenty of the people are still moving around. It seems that obviously not all of the town. If you had to guess, maybe a quarter of the people and shops have gone nocturnal, and this is before adding in all the people from Demlador that have now kind of flooded some of the streets, which does help some of the shops open up, knowing that new arrivals have come to the town. But nevertheless, about a little over half seem to run a daytime establishments and sleep schedule. So some shops are open, but not everything.
Can I make an investigation check for the magic shop?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Go ahead.
Am I
Sure.
able to make one as well?
Do we all make one?
Sure.
Everyone rolls high. The answer is no.
What are we making an investigation
They're all together
check for?
looking for a magic shop.
Oh, okay. Because I was just like, I'm looking for a horse. Why would I need to make an investigation check? I know what horses look like.
Rashi, you've got a bird tailing you from like 20 feet back that is very obviously walking, and it's a little awkward almost, and everybody's just like,
Yeah.
sees me following you.
Nah, she nodded at you as soon as you failed your stealth check because you said you were walking next to her. So she just kind of nods at you like, "Hey, what's up?" but she doesn't say anything because she hasn't learned your speech pattern yet, and you speak weirdly compared to the others.
He's just sort of like doesn't acknowledge that you acknowledged him, and then is like blatantly still trying to be
Like
sneaky,
hiding behind
even though
people,
he's not.
running up to the back of people and like using them for cover.
At one point, you look and you think he's Jason Bourne, but he's just 10 feet closer to you.
She just kind of shrugs and makes it very obvious that she knows you're there, but is like, thinks maybe you're playing a game, so she's like purposely like pretending you're not
Like
there.
a kid, yes. As far as you guys looking for magic shops, no. Doesn't seem to be anything else that screams, this is a magic shop. That is open, at least.
Well, I suppose we could try again at night
It's 3
when
a.m.
other shops are open.
There you go.
In the day.
Does one of the more linguistically privileged people know any of the signs, or what's the main language here?
Rashi does.
Should I just cast comprehend languages on myself again? Or do I think they're gonna have a poor reaction to spells here?
What do you think?
I think the answer's probably yes.
I love it when players ask me,
Is it still
what do I think? And I'm just like, I don't know. What do you think? You're you. You know how to think. You do the thinking. Oh, are you sure about that?
She did spend 2 months
That was only
with
1
no
month.
brain, or no brain technically. Oh yeah, it was Caporn who spent
Correct.
2 months with a broken body. But Caporn wouldn't. Caporn doesn't notice any of the languages, right? You just said only Rashi.
Well, I'd say Rashi would know what's going on here, but yes, none of you guys can understand the language of the signs. Go
Is
ahead.
there any place I could... Sorry. Is there any place I could just kind of tuck myself away and cast the spell?
If you guys are in the
It's kinda
nomadic
small.
outside of the, between all the carts, then there's plenty of carts you can hide behind and whatnot. If you guys want to move into the town, it's a little bit more packed in, so there's not like alleyways to hide or anything.
Yeah, I'll just go find a place to cast a spell, and this time make sure there's no
Alright.
children watching.
So,
And
okay,
cast comprehend
so you
language.
cast the spell. Is there something you guys are looking for? Something you want to do? Are you just trying to read signs?
Just trying to read signs, understand where everything is. Because if nothing screamed magic shop, let's hope I can read something that seems more magical.
Knowing that there's a day-night cycle to this town, kind of, Caporn's not gonna be looking at anything. But if you can find somewhere that maybe is like that sells carts or similarly horses, then you'll probably be interested in those.
We can go see about a cart next if that's what we want to do.
Sounds perfect.
I mean, a lot of the shop names and such aren't like straight up like Bagram's local magic shop. They all have names like the Wooden Stake,
Yeah,
Dreaming Naga, the Brilliant. Like, it's all very offset names that aren't like, oh, this is the magic shop.
Like they have like a poetic
just-
meaning to it, kind of thing.
All interesting and funny names. It doesn't really seem like a lot of these places take themselves too seriously and have kind of gone along with the trope. And this is only inside the actual like town portion of this. As far as the carts go, there are no signs.
Sounds good. Racha, Rashi, anything?
You're not with us.
I know.
I'm just observing Rashi with whatever she's doing.
I've already said she's trying to get transport to Bagram, which would probably involve
Yeah,
her
if you're
getting a
just
horse.
going by yourself to go get a horse without any assistance, is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what I said I was doing from the beginning. I've just been letting them all roleplay while I waited.
Oh yeah, I get you. It's just from last session, the captain said he would help you get, transportation. But if you're just going into the town without any assistance from the captain or whatever, that's going to highly dictate how much things cost.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, she would look for him, be looking for him to get the help. But I assume she's gonna have to get a horse at some point, so I just kind of skipped ahead. Sorry. Yeah, I would go and find the captain and try and get
Yeah, in that
transport.
case, they take off one of their draft horses and hand them over to you.
Oh, okay, that was easy.
Draft horses aren't as fast as riding horses, but it's still free transportation.
Yeah, but they're sturdy.
But all in all, it's got a saddle. It's got about 2 weeks worth of feed on it, and it survived everything. So that gives it an extra little plus.
Racha, noticing the feed on the horse, would actually approach. It's the same Durgar that was in our fight, right? He just sort of realized, he's like, how long? And point towards the feed.
Through Rashi probably saying this to him. Right?
I hope she takes the clue.
You asking how much
Oh.
each bag of feed is, how length, or are you asking how long is it good for?
He's actually asking for how long is Kember away from Bagram.
Oh, it's only 2 days.
I'll just sort of nod. And then go do his Kronk disappear routine.
Roger that. So, Rashi, you've got your horse. It's got a saddle, food, and any other accoutrement that it might need to function as a riding horse this time around. Is there anything else you wanted to do with the guards or the captain?
I don't think there's anything else that I really have to do, because being that I'm going to depart, I doubt that they would put me on a watch list. Not a watch list.
Oh yeah, you're on the watch list, all right.
Watch rotation.
No, the reason I ask is because most of them are going to go, and they just been through a lot of battles in hell, so they're all taking time off.
Yeah, no, she would just thank them for the horse and try and find her new traveling companions, which shouldn't be hard because they're all in a big freaking group.
Through the body language, can I understand the dude saying we're about to go
They're
party?
not going to go
Or-
party, they're going to go sleep and heal.
Oh, fine. I thought we were about to get drunk with dwarves.
If that was the case, you guys would be getting drunk with the dwarves. The dwarves wouldn't be getting drunk.
Touche.
But nevertheless, Rashi, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Ooh, I'm good at that one. Let's hope the dice roll is nice.
It doesn't take you too long. After making a quick circuit around the town, realizing that they seem to have gone into the town, once you're actually inside, you pick up on them pretty easily. Not too many people are moving about inside the town, and yes, they are all walking together, and they stick out since they're a bunch of elf, half-elf, and human-looking individuals in a mainly Duragar city.
Got a 6'6" tree over here, so
Well, everyone's
Yeah,
tall
Rachar.
except for Nori. Char wasn't with us.
Rachar's always with you.
Secretly, I was hoping she would roll lower than 12, so that I'd be like, you lose track of her child.
I don't know why it showed up twice. Sorry about that. Well, since I very clearly see them, hey, everybody, I got a horse so I can join you.
oh, wonderful. We're actually trying to find another horse for Nori and Rachel right now.
Huh?
Kaporan just like over dramatically, like, what the? There you are.
How did you not see him?
I feel like it's just a reflex now.
Yeah, he's been not following me, and she emphasizes the word "not," like to take that out of the sentence.
Like, as everybody's looking at her, he just, like, nods and gives her a thumbs up.
So as far as looking for a place to actually find and buy
Yeah.
another horse, there are a few places that you can do so. You see that a few of the Durgar and Dragonborn that came in from Demlador are also here purchasing horses. So you get the sense of if you want a horse, you might need to be quick.
Kaporan would kind of usher everyone over to the where they're getting horses. Do we see who the individual they're talking to about the horses?
You guys are taller, so yeah. All in all, there's about 7 Dragonborn and about 12 Duragar that are all here currently purchasing horses from the 3 Duragar that are in charge of these stables.
I guess Kaporan will try to, if there's a line, we'll try to get in line, or if it's just come up to the counter and we'll help you, then he'll be doing that.
They've kind of created like a half circle around these guys, so there is no counter to go up to, and they're kind of just standing in the stables, and money's being tossed between hands, and horse reins are going as well.
Bryn, how many horses do we need?
Technically 2, but again, if we can't get a hold of one, it's not huge.
Okay, 2 horses. Kaporan was like, excuse me, we'd like to buy some horses too, please. I guess I would try to say that in Draconic if I notice
See if a couple of
Dragonborns
the
are around.
Dragonborns like look over the 2 that are closest to you, kind of look over their shoulder and just give a smirk and kind of get even closer together.
Yeah, you're in a mostly dwarven town. They're not gonna really understand you. Do you want some help?
Are they speaking Dwarvish? I know
Do you know
that.
Underdwarvish?
I know Undercommon.
If you know Undercommon and Dwarvish, you could get the gist of what they're talking.
Do I feel confident
Oh
enough
god,
to?
no.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
Okay.
like
It's like a whole different dialect, so it just sounds
yeah,
weird.
and with the speed that they're speaking, it's like those guys that are doing like the auctions. Like you can hear a couple words here or there that you understand, and then you're just like, oh fuck, god, they're speaking so fast.
Kaporn would, if Rashi is offering her help, then yes, Rashi, can you please try to help us? We're trying to get 2 more horses for Nori and Racha.
Sure. Rashi will grab one of the dwarves' attention and ask how much 2
How do
horses
you
is.
grab the attention? You've got a wall of people in front of you.
How tall is it? How tall and how heavy is
Rashi?
she?
Dang it. I'm 5'4", and I'm about 150, although I'm probably wearing my armor, so I'm a little heftier.
Yeah, she's gonna be heavier. And with your noodle arms, I don't think so.
I was gonna call over Bryn.
Yeah, she's cracking like the 200-pound range with just the armoring herself, let alone all her equipment.
Bryn, we could use a little muscle.
Why don't we just walk up and talk to him rather than picking up poor Russia?
Yeah, I feel like
Please
we're
don't pick
straying
me up.
rather heavily into bad idea territory.
Let's hurry. He's selling fast.
Rashi, it's your choice on how you want to approach the salesman.
Okay, so you said there's a wall of people, and there doesn't seem to be like a line. It's just kind of like people kind of
Picture a
shoving
bar on a
themselves
Friday night.
forward, or like trying to like hassle their way, like just. I don't know what that looks like really, but I can imagine. Is there an actual like
No.
tabletop
No,
or like
it's just the
countertop
3
thing?
Durgar that are
Dang it,
behind the
okay.
fence that are handling the payments and giving out the horses.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy on myself, and I'm gonna choose the small wonder that makes my voice boom a little bit louder, and go, "Hey, I need 2 horses, please."
Okay. You kind of get the attention of some of the Dragonborns that are directly in front of you as they kind of like tilt their head away from you guys and start to cover their ears and like looking back at you like, what the hell? And kind of just like shake their head after you get done talking. And luckily, about this time, large portions of the people start to move away with their currently acquired steeds. A few of the Dragonborn that are in front of you kind of go up, speak quickly with the Durgar that are handling everything. The Durgar start shaking their heads, and the Dragonborns kind of like hang their heads low and start walking away. But
I think Nori still has comprehend languages up, and I guess she probably can pick up, and she just goes, "It's fine. I can still walk. It's not a big deal." Plus, I think they just sold out. So, let's
well,
just.
I mean, there's
go
no
head
one
back
in
to
your
camp.
way now, so you can go talk to them if you wanted to.
Yeah, Rashi goes up to one of the dwarves. Do you have any horses left for 2 people, kind of my size?
If we're talking about your size, we don't have any of the riding horses left, but we do have a couple of our ponies.
What are pony speed?
Rashi translates or interprets as he's responding. She interprets to the group.
It's It's okay. I can walk. It's all good.
They can keep up with most of the carts pulling horses. They just can't pull as much or as hard.
Rashi, could you ask them if there's also any place nearby that sells carts?
Well, your ponies aren't going. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't need to
she'll-
actually translate. I'll just talk. They're not actually strong enough to be carrying or be pulling too many carts themselves. I'm just saying that they can keep up with cart pulling horses.
We
Rashi
have
basically points to her horse that she has with her, saying they're basically as fast as this one.
Correct.
How much are they?
Each pony is going for 75 trillium, but if you get them as a pair, be 50 a piece, so 100 trillium altogether.
Is the feed extra, or do
We're
they
already
already
giving
come
you a
with some?
discount on putting them as a pair, so the feed is separate.
Nori, how much feed do you want for your horse?
Socially anxious Nori has frozen.
Did they not say anything about buying a cart nearby?
That's what my question was. Have horses.
Well, the carts are a little bit more sturdy, and I don't think a regular horse would be able to pull one very well. But I can ask specifically about a cart for regular horses.
Yes, if we can get a cart, we do have some horses of our own. Remember, so we can hook up our own. But if not, then we'll fall back on the ponies. So hopefully Rashi translates if do they know of a cart shop in town?
Well, yeah. I mean, have you seen half of our town? It is built on carts. So I would go on and assume that we would have cart builders in our town.
Rashi kind of makes a comment to them that she doesn't translate, being like, out of towners.
Mori, who has comprehend languages up, understands this and glares at you.
Comprehend languages is just for reading.
I can if I can hear the language, then I can understand it.
She hears literal meaning of the words, so it's like non-conjugated and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Saren with tongues would probably know if he has tongues and would know what she said.
I don't have it. I got
Now that they're not
I guess
speaking fast,
basic
Saren can understand what's going on.
confusion. I'm probably still a little slow because
Yeah, you're
dialect
like
is
translating in
delayed.
your head,
Yeah, but
and then you have to retranslate before you would want to speak, but you can make it work.
But Rashi will translate for or interpret for everyone that like you literally can just go to a person and see if they have a cart for sale because the whole town's built on carts.
Okay, so then Kaporan's next question: could you point us out to a shop or someone that builds carts?
All three
then,
Durgar
please?
that you guys are talking to point in different directions. They all
Which one's
point
the
in the same
closest?
directions that they were pointing earlier. Then they all turn to each other and start arguing.
Wonderful.
It's just easy. It's easier if you just get the two ponies and the feed for them. I'll buy you the ponies if you want, as like a gesture of something.
Maybe we're right. Nori, maybe just 2 more ponies? Looks at Bryn. What do you think, Bryn?
Are
Again, I can walk. It's not a big deal. I promise.
Yes, but
That's
if
not
we
a
get...
decision.
Sorry.
Uh,
Go ahead.
no, sorry. She just, again, I'm sort of playing. She doesn't really know social dynamics, so, it, Nori, right? Um, that's not a decision. Do you want the pony or not?
I'm okay. I can walk.
Damn it, you're gonna make Bryn feel bad now. Alright, she's gonna buy the goddamn ponies.
No, no, no.
Without even looking at Nori, she's just gonna go give the man the trillium. Or I guess the platinum.
Okay, so it's 100 trillium. Which is 5 platinum. Yeah. Math you can.
I can math.
Well, that's good because I can't. um, Rashi will mention to Bryn that they also need feed, and ask the dwarves how much would it be for like 2 weeks, since that's how much my
Yeah,
draft horse has.
for feed it's 2 trillium per 1 day of food.
So 2 weeks worth then?
Are we talking IRL weeks, or are you just trying to match Rashi's feed amount?
Probably just match her feed for the time being. Would that be 14 trillium per horse?
No. It's you did the math
Wait,
all
I
wrong
didn't-
on that one. 2 trillium per
Brain
1 day of
math
feed
light.
per horse.
But would they be able to carry
Yeah.
Richa and I?
I mean, you could offload certain, like, have some of the other horses carry the feed and, work your guys' equipment around. But yeah, they would be able to carry you. You guys are pretty light. They hold up to 275 pounds, so.
And I am below that.
Kaporin weighs about 111, and so he has, plus whatever feed he has on the horse currently, he has room to play with.
ignore that. Sorry.
I do ignore that.
So for 2 weeks, 28 trillium.
Okay.
Is
I'll just go ahead and do the
correct?
math for you, Kapor. I don't want you to break your head.
Kaporin, what? Math?
To match
Roll dice?
Rashi's amount of feed, weeks in this world is 8 days per week. So that means it's 16 days altogether. Double that, that's 32. 32 times 2 horses is 64. So it's 64 trillium for 2 weeks of feed per horse.
I was counting in real life weeks. I'm sorry.
It's all good, buddy. So, Bryn, if you'd like to buy 2 weeks worth of feed for the ponies, you can do so here, and it's 64 trillium.
Yes, but I'm not gonna give it in trillium because I
Then
don't
3
have
platinum and 2
trillium.
gold.
Yeah, 3 platinum and then 4 trillium because I don't also have gold.
Shake my head.
I gotta do some complicated math here apparently.
Okie dokie. So, you have ponies and feed for the ponies. They come with saddles, so I'm just going to make that easy for you.
Thank you.
So, Nori, you are the proud owner of a dark brown pony that has a black stripe that runs from its left eye down to its shoulder. Richa, your pony is almost like a reddish brown that has a very light brown mane as well as tail.
It's like the same height as me, I imagine.
Yeah, when it's got its head up, yeah.
He just smiles and waves at it.
Nori's definitely doing that dog thing where it's just like, hey, buddy.
Does anyone have speak with animals? Are we going to learn that it's a French horse?
I don't have it stocked. I should have, though.
I cast Speak with Animals. 2 Tarasques all of a sudden drop out from the sky.
That's counterspell.
From 2... Oh, to stop her? Okay, got it.
I don't have it stocked. It wasn't there anyway.
There's 3 snipers on roofs just waiting to get redemption for their pirate kin from dying, and they see you cast comprehend Speak with Animals, and they're like, ah, that's her, fire!
I'm defecting to their side.
The-
I fully have not cast Speak with Animals once this entire time.
You did once, and it was back when we the very
Right.
first horses, and that was where we learned it was French horses. But that was the one time.
I've spoke to a tree, and I've spoke to one horse who was French.
It's the old group that has the history with Speak with Animals.
My ranger would just have conversations with his horse, and his horse did not like him. But I was gonna say, Racha, if nobody else has got any other plans, he'd actually go off and look for some carpentry supplies.
Easy enough to do. What are you trying to supply up with?
He's going to try and convert his rickshaw into a mini chariot thing to put behind his pony.
Okay, that's going to require a lot more tools.
Then the carpentry supplies?
You also got to get a lot of materials. Your Pelican's not going to be enough to set that up.
Oh, I was just imagining I'm going to slap 2 wheels on the sides of the thing and then put a stick in front of it.
You could certainly try. The DC is going to be pretty high.
You know, on something like that, he's gonna pass it.
Can I be
Baron,
around?
give him
'Cause I
break.
want to see this happen.
Bardic Inspiration. Bardic Inspiration. All you hear Caporn is going, "You can do it."
I don't actually know if I can do it. Am I allowed to do it or not?
You're just going to try and throw a couple wheels and a stick.
So he knows what a cart looks like. He's gonna try and craft, to the best of his ability, plates that wheels kind of thing, like circular wooden wheels, and basically make an axle between the two, and then attach a long pole to the front of his rickshaw, and if almost to the point where he just has to hold on to, onto the stick so that the pony just drags him while he's rolling in the cart, kind of like the back end of those bicycles that
Yeah.
hold children, kind of thing.
Go ahead and give me a performance check.
Don't forget
With
to put in the
inspiration?
card that goes while you're being pulled. Cut someone off. My bad.
I'm waiting for you to roll the inspiration.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I had it or not. I was just about to ask.
So you taking taking the designs from some of the other cards that you've seen, you fashion together what you've said to do to the palanquin, and you step back from it, looking at it as like, okay, it's upright, it's standing, it's attached. There's only one thing left to do.
Do you mean just sit in it, or do you mean get it? Try
Oh,
and
I
hook
said
it
it's
up
already
to the
attached to the horse.
Okay, and then yeah, he's gonna try and just sit down in it, see if he can ride in it, if it works.
You sit down in it, and it's not falling apart.
Did you forget to make the wheel spin?
He just he just goes, yeah, because he's heard
Make
it
an animal
before.
handling check for me. So you guys sit here for the next like half hour to hour as Richaw puts this together, and in Richaw fashion, gets it very ramshackle looking, gets into the back of the cart, goes, yeah, and nothing really happens, and then he kind of moves the stick and he goes, yeah, and the stick accidentally touches like the back rib of the pony, and the pony, not used to you at all, you haven't ridden the pony at all before doing this, you just immediately went straight into attaching this to it and going, yeah, just takes off. And you get about 50 feet before the pony takes a sharp turn to the left, and your cart, quote unquote, just detaches and keeps going in a straight line. And the R2D2 noises commence as you have no way of braking, and you just collide with the wall of the town.
We are holding at the pony.
5 points of bludgeoning damage, and your cart is now in pieces around you.
I want to go find the pony.
Well, now that nothing is attached to behind it and scaring it this entire time, it's calmed down and it's kind of like returned back to the stable.
Kuport is comforting the pony.
He'll just sort of walk up with like the broken pieces of it, and he's like, "It was worth a shot."
You tried, bird. You tried. Cast level 1 healing word. It's like, good job.
He'll just spend the rest of his time having a weird conversation with a pony, trying to help it become more comfortable with him.
That's going to be an interesting bridge to repair.
Exactly.
The horse is just dramatized as this big beaked bird is just cawing away.
In Richard's mind, he can't actually communicate it, but he's like, all right, we got off on the wrong foot there. Let's go, buddy.
There may need to be a switching of ponies.
That's what I thought too.
You just want me to have the pony so it's not traumatized.
Well, let's just say Richard's going to have a disadvantage on his next animal handling check.
I will take Richard's pony.
We could we were lucky that I didn't try to make it so that both ponies were attached to the thing like I originally
That would have been
wanted.
better.
Well, while Wachra is becoming the object of Pony's nightmares, I'd like to have Saren try and do a thing.
Thing a Saren tried to do.
You need inspiration.
That stone box that we found at the monument. I remember Wachra. I think he physically investigated it, but when Saren got around to it, he used only magic. So he's gonna pull it out, and he's just gonna kind of look it over, look for any writing or any mechanisms or anything like that on
Go
it.
ahead and make an investigation check. Looking it over, it's a pretty smooth box. It doesn't even seem to really have a seam. You do end up finding a seam, but it is a very thin seam. There doesn't seem to be any lock, no inscription, no writing, nothing on it.
Is Saren doing this right in front of everyone else?
Well, he didn't
Wachra's
say he was
fiddling
going
with
away,
his
so
cart?
I'm guessing yes.
May I have a try? As approaches Saren. I promise not to smash it.
Personally, considering where it came from, I'd prefer to be the one to try and figure it out. But
That's some
thank you
high
for the
elf on
offer.
half elf shade right there.
Yeah,
Horns you
basically.
said at this point.
Half of the party are half elves. You need to be nice. And all of them are healers.
Hey, Kaporn didn't get hit with magic again this time when he
Progress.
asked to help him. So
This time.
While they're doing that, since the horse thing is all situated, is it possible for Rashi to see if there's any places that have like scrap materials or like scrap metals? Because I have a channel divinity thing where if I spend an hour in ritual, I can like make shit, and I feel like I would like practice my crafting and stuff like that. But I assume that I would like need supplies that don't like come with my tool sets
Yeah,
for some of
as
that.
far as that goes, a lot of the places that you would need access to are currently not open. So, like blacksmith, carpenters, lead workers, and things like that, they're not open at the moment, and you would need to barter with them or trade or buy some of their slag and slack to be able to do that.
Okay, then I will wait until they open.
at this point where everyone's kind of done their thing and we've gotten the horses, I guess Kaporan would want to head back with the technically 3 new ponies to the other horses and kind of get them all settled together for as the morning is beginning to happen.
A draft horse is not a pony.
They're all ponies in our hearts.
Okay, yes, that's true.
When it's much smaller than Kaporan, it's a pony.
Draft horses are pretty big. Like, think the
Clydesdales
Budweiser
are not draft
horses.
horses.
Oh, well,
they're
okay,
like
but
yeah,
they're not
they're
that big.
they're
But, like,
about the
draft
size,
horses
same
are pretty
size as
big and
riding
sturdy.
horses. They're just thicker, so they don't travel as fast.
They got meat on their bones.
But they're not as big as war horses.
So we'll take the thick pony and the 2 other ponies and head over to the other horses.
The draft horse is a horse, not a pony.
It's all of a sudden just deferred to as the mom pony.
Thick pony is the worst sentence I've heard all day.
Well, I mean, if you're going on by that thing,
Well,
then technically Kaporn is the thick pony of the group.
When I get modify memory, I want to make.
He does not get my thick pony.
No, because Kaporn is currently damaged, so he's the slowest one out of the group. So that would make him the pony of the group, and he's a big boy, so he's a thick pony.
Yeah, but yeah, he doesn't get access to my thick pony. That's my draft horse.
Kaporn's heading back to his horse. He's like, okay. He's gonna set up some sort semblance of a camp for everyone and get ready for the daytime to come upon us.
The one thing Bryn would want to ask Rashi, since she's from this area, is if she knows that if more people travel during the day or if they continue at night, just like we've been doing, going to Kember.
Rashi answers in a voice that sounds like the
What was the question?
DM's.
Would more people be traveling during the day to Kember or at night,
Either
like
or,
we've
it's
been
not-
doing?
Kember is a completely permanent town, so people traveling to it will travel to it whenever they see fit. People inside the town and their usual routine, it's going to be more daytime.
Gotcha. And then she would just clarify: is this a port town or landlocked, like we are?
Landlocked.
Interesting. Thank you.
Rashi says, "You're welcome."
In a DM's voice.
Yes, indeed.
Good impression, Rashi. Good impression.
You're welcome. Yeah,
Um,
Rashi doesn't have a particularly whatever girl sounding voice. I just kind of play her voice how I see her. So you guys keep saying him a lot, and it's making me laugh hysterically.
with what Racha ordered, would it have been done after his whole escapade
yeah.
of trying to make a chariot? He'd go and collect those up then, and then once the day-night shift happened, he'd probably go check out the shops again just to browse, mostly just to see if he could find trinkets and stuff like he did back in the city.
Make a history check for me, Rachel.
Can I ask how far across the town is?
The permanent portion or all of it together?
The
The permanent portion is in a rectangle shape. It goes from north to south, lengthwise, and roughly altogether, you're looking at about 1,500 feet long and about 400 feet wide. It's not very large. Richard, you do remember that the shop owner of that one place said that he was delving into a new realm of magic shop items that not a lot of places in Cydia are doing. So you can investigate, but don't hold up too much of a high hope.
Yeah, I was just looking for wondrous items is basically
Gotcha.
the idea. Nothing special though.
Anything else? Anything anybody else wants to do before daytime arrives?
The only thing I would do is, at some point, I'm guessing the group would go over to where. Are we resting before we head back out?
We
Like
if
to
no
do,
one's
like
in a
to
rush. Caporn would just suggest that we take a short rest, if anything, and then if we want to travel later on in the day, we can.
I'm gonna try and do a couple things. Then I'm going to go over to where a lot of people from Demlador are, and I'm going to ritual cast the dome and make it completely opaque. And then I'm gonna try something where I'm inside and no one can see me. I'm gonna try and I really doubt this is gonna work, but I'm going to cast clairvoyance and I'm gonna see if I can see inside the stone box.
Okay, go ahead and ping clairvoyance near.
Am I thoroughly assured that there's no magic item shop from Wondrous Item Shop?
Oh, because you rolled the nat 20, so you're like, I need to know. At least when you're walking through the town, if there is one, it is not open.
Good to know. All right.
Okay, so you try to put the sensor inside, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I do my best to put it inside the box, even if I probably wouldn't be able to see anything, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna
every
try.
time you try to push the sensor down into it, and you try to look through it, the sensor is either on top, on the side, or underneath.
Oh well, it was worth a try. Um, the only other thing I'll do is after I'm done trying that, I'm gonna drop clairvoyance, and I'm going to cast locate object, and I'm going to just because I can't read the signs, I'm going to try and cast it on a scroll of the sending spell and see if it pings anything.
Okay. Oh, 1,000 feet of it? Yeah, you don't get anything. I'm sorry.
That's all right. After I've cast the spell, and I don't have to worry about anyone seeing me do it, I'm gonna drop the dome, and then I'm gonna walk back to the main portion of the town.
Okay.
If I don't get anything, like once I get to the middle of town, I'll probably drop it, but I'm gonna keep it till I get there.
All right. Anything specific anyone wants to do, or anything you're looking for, Saren?
Well, it's stuck on sending spell, but that's all I'm doing. If that doesn't work, I'll probably just meet up with the group and take a short rest
Yeah,
if
you
they're
don't
not
get
doing
anything
anything.
from the sending. Rest of the group, anybody want to do anything?
I'd imagine Rachaz just sort of like roaming around while he's looking for that shop for the most part and whatnot.
Rashi would just be bonding with the draft horse, kind of getting it used to her smell and scent and stuff like that, while we're all kind of short resting.
Okay.
Yeah, Nori is definitely just getting to know her little
Your
pony.
little pony, your little pony.
Damn it!
Your little
He's
pony, so skinny and bony.
Dear Lord.
Aaron has a stroke
all I
now.
got is the robot version in the head. Sorry,
No
I
worries.
cut someone off. My bad.
Um, okay, so unless there's something else anyone wants to do before daytime arrives, daytime does arrive, and the town picks up in um, overall patronage. Shops open, people start lining the streets, and becomes a much more hectic situation. A lot of people that you remember from Demlitter are not about these people. They are obviously resting. Um, but here and there, you do pick out a. Rashi picks out more familiar faces than you guys, but you do see one or two from either when Kaporan was playing one of his little ditties, or people who just came over to give their thanks for your guys' help. Kind of see you around, do the whole like nod or maybe like a small wave or something as you guys are passing by. But the town of Bakram stands in full glory for you guys to scour through.
Rashi hits up the places that might have like usable scrap metal or things where it says that I can create things that are worth no more than 100 gold. So whatever that is, whatever stuff I can get that would allow me to like practice making armor or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not going to be buying 100 gold worth of scrap or slag, um, but if you do want to make decently items that might actually cost something and that you could actually sell, you would not want to be using the leftovers from what people are making. You would need to buy straight up material to do so.
Oh yeah, then that I want to do that. Look for
Okay,
places
if
that
you're buying
have
straight
that.
up material, then it is going to cost more than buying scrap. And you can buy up to 50 gold worth of material from any one person. Obviously, they're giving you a markup from their material, so like if you bought 50 gold of iron, it's actually going to be about 40 gold worth of iron, but you know, you're basically taking material away from them, so they need to make some sort of profit on it.
That's why I wanted to do the scrap
Yes,
thing, but
when
okay,
when
but
it comes to like
her,
materials and actually
that
using
let me use
materials
my
like
ability.
iron and copper and things like that, the stuff that is scrap is inusable. It's like it's called slag for a reason, because even remelting it down and trying to put it all together, only about like 20% of it is going to be usable material. So you have to actually buy material if you want to transform it into something.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm reading the channel divinity ability, and boo. Okay, well, never mind then. Boo. I don't know. She's not doing it. She's just. I don't know what she's doing now. Someone else do something.
Anybody else want to do anything?
Racha would like to look for some sort of, not the most upright of places, but he's trying to get some poison so that he can coat these new
Seedy underbellies.
So wherever might potentially sell some poisons for him
Go
if you'd
ahead and
like.
give me a perception check. Looking around, at least as far as inside the actual town, the permanent town itself, doesn't seem like any place screams, "Ooh, this looks like a dastardly hole in the wall that might offer me the correct connections." Um, a lot of it seems to be very, since this whole town's kind of built on top of itself and very tightly packed in, there is no obvious street side establishment that is going to be handling such endeavors.
Fair enough.
If Raja is looking for a vial of poison, I would offer his glass vial back.
He wouldn't really be looking for. That's probably not enough. Is basically what he's looking for. He's basically looking for like a pouch that he can keep these blowgun needles in that will keep them coated in
Yeah,
the
a single
poison.
vial of poison is going to be able to coat like 10 needles.
It lays on the table if Richard wants it, but yeah, Kaporan doesn't really have a use for it, so if he absolutely wants it back to have 10 more poison darts, then he's fine with that. But besides that, Kaporan roll for performances, see how the music turns out.
It's quite alright, it's quite alright. Giving your group a nice constant traveling, here we are, as you play.
Wonderful.
Just slowly moves your lute down, just like, we're gonna be a little bit more quiet. There are people sleeping.
Kaporan just plucks even quiet, like just very lightly at his lute as Nori says that.
Well, the last thing Racha would then look for is that same magic shop again. This time it being the day he's hoping
Alright,
for.
go ahead and roll me investigation. Now, I'll say you get advantage since you rolled a nat 20 on the nighttime one.
Hey, I rolled finally above 10 on something that potentially might matter.
So, kind of going around and breaking off from the group every now and again to, check in on a store or kind of run up ahead and around a corner, checking some things, and just trying to make the most of your time that you can. You do end up coming across a smaller building that seems to be almost wedged between two larger, and then the two larger buildings on either side of them are connected over it. So it looks like almost as if this place just got slightly inserted into a gap, or possibly the buildings around it just decided to say, fuck you, and just kind of built around. But going inside, you see a older Duragar male who is currently sleeping behind, up against the back wall to the left, behind a decently tall bookshelf, but it's not solid through, so you can see him. And there's a very younger Duragar who is currently tending to an individual who seems to be purchasing some items, another Duragar as well. In here, though, there are a bunch of little items and gadgets, and you get a sense this is either some sort of just like pawn shop, or this could possibly be some sort of enchantment shop.
Ooh, fascinating. He'd actually just say out loud.
The one guy's asleep, and the other two are deep in conversation.
He'd just sort of start roaming around, and unless somebody stops him, he might try to fiddle with the first thing he finds interesting
Okay,
on
go
them.
ahead and roll an investigation check on me. Okay. So the first thing that you come across, it seems different and from the rest of the odds and ends that are in this shop, are a pair of gauntlets, and you go to lift them up, and they seem to be attached to a metal wire that is attached to the shelf itself.
Fancy. He will.
So this is a T-Mobile store? Oh, sorry.
Exactly. That was what I thought too. He's gonna see if he can. Like, do they look like they'll fit him?
Well, the
He'll
metal
try
wire
and put
is
his hand
going in
one.
between the hands, so no one can put them on.
Oh, I thought it was more of like
It
was
is.
just holding it to
It's holding
the,
it to the shelf, but it's
table.
also making it so no one can put them on.
He will playfully like make them clap and then put them back down, and then move on to the next thing.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Richard ran off by himself. That
Yep.
just correct.
I feel like the answer is always yes.
I think that was anything.
Okay, so you move down the list a little, down the aisle a little bit, coming across these interesting-looking leather strap and glass contraption. After kind of reorienting them to how they might possibly actually be used, you realize that they're goggles. And leather strapped, leather around, and glass fixtures over where the eyes would go. You put them on, and everything around you kind of takes on a decently bright, but it's all different like tones and shades of gray.
He finds it intriguing and he's like, interesting, and looks around. Does it seem like it's in finer detail or just
It's just shades of gray
shades
now.
of gray now? Well, that's fun, in Breeze's voice, and then sets them back down. Continues on until either somebody stops him or somebody he might go up to somebody afterwards.
Okay, well, the older guy is still knocked out, and the younger guy is still dealing with the Durgar, who's trying to haggle him down on price. Go ahead and roll a d4 for me. Okay. Okay, so you end up walking down one of the aisles, and you get about halfway down before you feel something tug at like your back right, at your belt. You look behind you and you feel the tug again, and you can see one of your pouches is looks like it's being tugged, but no one's there to be tugging it.
Is it the dangerous one?
The one with oh yes thing in it? No.
My other
Your
one.
coin purse? No.
Well, he'll still like sort of grab onto it and like tug it out of whatever's tugging on it.
Athletics check.
Grasp.
Athletics check.
What was that? I didn't quite hear.
Yeah, you're pulling and you're just trying to lean against it, but you're slowly getting pulled towards one of the shelves.
Oh, so it's like it feels like something on the
You
shelf.
you
is
can't tell
pulling
about
me?
that. It's
Or
just
like
taking you in
when I
that
look up
direction.
and he'll sort of make sure the thing doesn't fall off of his belt, and I guess just sort of let it happen, and like because he's had this happen before too.
So you stop resisting and get lifted off your feet and collide with the shelf, knocking it over, knocking that shelf into the first aisle shelf, that shelf into the wall. Items start dangling and falling across the floor. The old man wakes up. The young man and the other Durgar snap around, thinking that they're under attack. And you're just now pinned up against the shelf.
He'll just sort of say out loud like, "Help!"
The old man, what the fuck is going on here? He gets out, and as he stands up, you see him pull out a giant war axe.
In response to him saying that, I'll say, "Let's ask the disembodied voices."
You fucking bird, get the fuck out of my shop! Get out of here! And he goes and he's gonna kick you. He's got it.
I'm like stuck to the wall though right now, right?
You still feel the tugging happening. You can make an athletics check to try and pull yourself away.
Well, I would hope that once he like kicks me and I don't go anywhere, and I'm like actively looking like I'm struggling against something pulling on me, that he would stop kicking me. But I'll take the first kick if he does.
That's 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And you go flying 10 feet.
"10 feet, Jesus. He's got a good kick." I will then stand up and say, "Sorry," and then just sort of start heading towards the door because he asked
and
me
they're
to
not
leave.
stopping you. They're starting to go over what the fuck has happened and cleaning up this mess that you've created.
I will keep my eye on my bag, but then like very confused looking, head out the
Make a perception
door.
check. Looking down at your bag, there seems to be what looks like a detached stone carving of a skeletal hand that is attached to your bag on the outside.
Well, then on like at the front door, he'll just sort of gesture towards them and say,
You don't
"I believe
see it
this
when
is
you leave
yours."
the building. It's only if you move far enough away.
Okay, so like while I'm at the
You wouldn't
front
see
door
anything, yeah.
leaving the building, it's not there. Gotcha. And it's just sort of attached to it.
As
That's
if it's
weird.
grabbing it from underneath.
Can I try to
You can certainly
remove the
try.
thing? I will poke it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me I guess this would be a Constitution saving throw. You grab the stone creation and start to yank on it. You feel a cold chill kind of permeate up across your arm for a moment, almost as if like your arm went numb for a moment. And then you kind of like wiggle your shoulder and the feeling comes back and you start tugging. Give me an athletics check. Actually, I'd need 2 athletics check. One to pull the arm, and the other to pull the bag. Or not the arm, the hand. You can't get a decent enough grip on each one of them. You start to like make some room between the hand and the bag, but it's too much for you to handle alone.
If I like, did I have to go a certain distance away before this thing appeared, or
Before you noticed it, yeah.
was it like, if I go back towards that shop, does it disappear again?
Do you want to do that?
Not necessarily go back in, and as long as if it reappears, he'd like to like approach the front door and ask like if this is theirs.
Okay.
Kind of
So
thing.
you approach the front door. Are you going to open it up? You can still see it.
If it's closed, he'll just actually knock at it. He doesn't want to enter because they don't
Okay.
want him in there.
The old man kind of, hearing your knock, kind of looks over and sees you through, starts pointing his war axe at you, and says, I said fucking get!
I will hold up the bag, hope
It's gone.
like, and ask if that was his or not. So, if that was the case, then I would have never actually
Yep.
done it, though. Was it there like less than a second ago? Interesting. All right, he'll walk away then.
All right. At this point in time, cutting around the corner, you run back into your group.
Does which bag is this, so I know like what's actually inside?
This is. Let me pull up your listing here. You've got a bunch of
Got,
little
like,
bags, so
my
it's hard to like pin down what's in each bag.
Yeah, I've got like ball bearings in one, caltrops in another, my coin purse, my needles.
I mean, you could make a. Oh god, I had the terminology in my head before I wanted to say it. You can't open the bag, but you can tell by everything else what's in it, because process of elimination. Thank God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, so through process of elimination, this is more of like your junk bag. Nothing that has real. This is like where your left shoe's at, and this is just more one of your left shoes, I should say. This is more of smallish stuff that it would kind of get lost around in your backpack, but not a whole. Just more of your like, ooh, this is pretty, and put it away. Yep.
Man, my yellow paint's in there. Well, all right then. He will be concerned about it, and then if it's all of a sudden there in front of everybody else, he'll be like, might have a little bit of a problem.
What is that?
You guys don't see it. Nope.
You don't see it?
I guess Bren would just kind of raise an eyebrow. What's the problem, Richa?
He will minor illusion the image of his bag with the stone hand underneath it.
Kaporan kind of goes over there, like waves his hand underneath the bag. He's like, "What?"
I think I would have said something if he did.
I don't know. It's weird, man. I don't know.
His hand goes through the illusion.
There was something here, Richa?
Yep.
So there's a weird hand on your back? But I don't see anything.
He will attempt to
Doesn't
open it.
you guys all huddling around this thing? Or are you guys just looking at it from a distance? Like,
Well, Kaporin's like right next to him.
yeah, I know Kaporin's right up there, but
Sam's probably idly curious about it, but everyone else is around it, so he's probably not.
But yeah, he's basically showing everybody that it's not opening anymore because of whatever this is.
Can I poke it?
sure. Okay,
I poke
Nori,
it.
as you get closer, all of a sudden you feel a tightening around your throat. Racha, you see as Nori's violet crystal that has been decently dampened and dull recently now violetly shines bright, and the hand that you saw that was on your bag is now wrapped around Nori's throat as it covers up the light. None of you all can see this, only Racha and Nori. Nori, you are starting to get suffocated. You cannot speak.
I'm clawing at my neck and mentally, oh my goodness, thank goodness I have this. I go to Racha. It's stuck around my neck. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I know. And,
Do we just see
Yep.
Nori starting to freak out then? I will cast See Invisibility.
As soon as you cast See Invisibility, you get your neck starting to be choked out. Yep.
Does it release me?
Nori,
don't
Racha,
think
you
spell
see
magic
this is no
anymore.
longer just a hand. It is now a hand and a forearm.
I cast
You
a
start
spell
getting
magic.
choked out. It is now a hand, a forearm, and
Ow.
a bicep.
Kaporin runs over to Nori. Is like, "What's going on?" Standing right in front of her.
Mentally, I go, there is a hand thing wrapped around my throat, and it's not going away, and I don't know how to get it off. It's attracted to magic.
Are we in? Is our group like in the middle of the town, or are we like?
You're like on the corner
Away
of a
from
street right
people.
now, but you guys are on the far corner of the back end of town. So there's not a whole lot of shops over here. It's more residences. You got a couple people that are walking by, looking at you guys very awkward, but you're not in a high thoroughfare area.
Okay, good. Because if we were, Rashi would move everyone to like a quieter corner, because people are visibly freaking out
Yeah.
for some reason, and she has no idea why. But if it's quiet already, then that she's just kind of has a very perplexed and confused look on her face because she has no idea what's going on.
Bryn's gonna look at Racha. Where did this come from, Racha? Take me there. Let's go figure out what the hell this is.
Yep.
Am I still being suffocated?
I'm gonna. It's got her.
You can't see
It's hand.
Can well, so even with
Nope.
the invisibility or whatever. Interesting. Can Racha cast Armor of Agathis on himself to see if it's gonna actually jump to him because of it?
So, you cast Armor of Agathis, and from where the shoulder would be, because the bicep has now grown into a shoulder, and it's slowly growing as it's connected to Nori. All of a sudden, you see an entire other bicep, forearm, and hand pop out from the back end of it and wrap around your throat, Racha.
Can I see it?
It's now connecting
trying to pull
you
it off.
and Racha. It's choking both of you out.
I'm gonna walk 10 feet back, and I'm gonna cast Firebolt straight up as
Okay.
like a flare.
You cast Firebolt up into the air. Rashi, you see this happen, and you know immediately you are fucked. Nothing happens to you, Saren, but there is now a bit of hysteria going on down some of the streets as heavily armed Duragar guards have been now notified to a location of magic using in the town that has not been requested or agreed upon. And it was attack magic as well, so that's going to be fun to deal with in a second.
Racha would then just take Nori by the hand and run and listening to Bryn back towards the shop.
Yep, Bryn's following
Okay.
behind.
Gaporin was following with the group, trying to see if he can touch it anyway around Nori's neck, avoiding touching her crystal because Gaporin doesn't want that to suck him in.
Oh no, is it feeding off the magic? I'm gonna try to. Can I try to pull it
Athletics
off?
check.
Because if I've. Yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, wait, I'm proficient.
Can't pull
It's
it
a
off.
21. Fuck.
When it didn't transfer to me
No.
when I cast the spell.
Gaporin with some dramatic music. Dun, 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 dun,
Just
dun.
following behind the group.
Rashi is bringing up the rear, and she curses, and you hear cursing, which is in Dwarvish, because she knows that, like, what Saren did was fucking stupid, but then in Common, because she's right behind Kaparin, she tells him, that's not helpful, they already know where we're at, please stop.
I'm going to. Saren's gonna put like arm grip Rashi if she's trying to run by, and say there's some kind of monster on the ethereal plane attacking him. We're gonna need the guards.
Once we've arrived
Okay,
back.
she will. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's gonna be once we arrived back at the shop, like in front of the entrance. He wouldn't actually go in, but he'd point Bryn towards it, and then he'd pull out his rapier and try and stab whatever's in between the two of us.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yeah, Rashi, you can, if whatever you need to go to.
Oh, she would have just sighed. Oh, wait, did you do that in character? Because I can't tell. Some of us.
Oh,
don't have
Racha
voices.
is. He was dictating what he's doing, because.
No, I know. I meant Saren because he said that Saren gripped her arm and was like trying to tell her what was going on.
Yeah, that would have all been in character.
Okay, I just want to double check. So that way I know to respond in character also. Okay, that makes no sense to me, but since you're probably going to need someone to translate, unless you know the language, I'll try and do my best.
Racha, your rapier goes straight through what you see as the two arms, which now has a set of shoulders.
Bryn's going in to the shop.
Okay, you go into the shop, and they start speaking at you in a language you don't understand.
God, please tell me you speak common. Fucking great. She's gonna go back out and Rashi, I need you.
How did Racha know?
Well, I just told you what he said. Racha being Racha. Just did a boo-boo and people are yelling at him. He's most likely gonna run. And he it's a portion of language that transcends language.
I understand.
I mean, you also had an axe pointed at you, so I would think that you would just kind of assume, like, oh shit, he's going to do something bad.
And getting
I
kicked
messed
10
up.
feet across the ground.
I haven't messed up. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
but Richard.
At this moment in time, Racha and Nori, you both take 7 points of suffocating damage.
But yeah, Brynwood, as soon as she realized they don't speak common, go get Rashi. If she needs to practically
By the time
pull her
that you
in there.
get back out to Rashi, Rashi is currently dealing with the Durgar guards.
Okay. Can I try to freaking have them come with me so they can see what the hell's going on?
You want to interrupt what's going on with Rashi and the
Really,
guards?
Well, I imagine that there's two people.
I know.
That
I'm just having them dictate. Just her saying "come here" isn't going to get Rashi, so she needs to physically go over there and be like, yank.
No, because I feel like that's going to be an issue in itself, since she's the only one who could probably calm the guards that are probably pretty pissed about the firebolt. So she'd just try to get one of the shop people to come out to see what's going on.
Okay.
Best she could.
Probably easier for you to get the younger Durgar merchant to come out, but he does come out and just sees Racha and Nori kind of holding their throats, and suffocating. And he kind of looks at you with his arms up I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right, then I'm going to bring him over to Rashi and the guards to hopefully have Rashi talk to this
Because,
guy.
as far as you know, Bryn, all Racha did was come back, show a picture of a hand on his bag, and then people started getting attacked, and then he took you to this shop. So...
Yeah, he's assuming that it came from this shop or around this shop, so if it's one of these two might know something about it.
If I recognize the younger dwarf from being inside the shop, I'll start minor illusioning 6 seconds at a time. It probably takes at least three frames for me to explain what exactly happened in the shop.
Every 6 seconds you suffocate more.
Yep. So the first thing he would do is he'd show the stone hand on the bag like he did of himself coming out of the shop would be the image. So the image is of him leaving the shop and the stone hand is on his bag.
1 second. You guys take another 9 points of suffocating damage. He kind of looks at the image and is still perplexed on what's going on. Kind of freaked out, but because you guys are choking in front of him, but still has no clue what's going on.
I'm continually trying to pull it off. I know
Not
I don't
anymore.
have enough strength to do
With
it, but
your-
I'm
With your modifier, it's gotten too strong.
oh dear.
And there's no way that I would be able to
You
touch
try to
this
walk
thing
in
or
between it, and you
feel
can
where it
literally
is.
walk in between it. You make no contact with the arms. It now has the shoulders have joined to make a full clavicle, and it's starting to create a upper torso.
Kaporin's gonna start noticing that they're starting to suffer. He's gonna start dishing out healing to them.
Okay.
One healing word for each.
As soon as that happens, Racha, you get dropped. And Kaporin, you start to get choked out. Some invisible force now clamps itself around your neck after that first healing word that you give out. So the second one doesn't. So the one going to you, Racha, does not heal. Because it gets cut off midway through as Kaporin is now being suffocated.
Wonderful. Kaporin would like to attempt to rip it off.
You don't have a modifier to do that. Racha, you hear a word creep up in the back of your head.
he's going to take the actually, because I forgot I had temporary hit points from Armor of Agathis. Did it seem to take damage from
It
the
seemed to
Armor of
grow
Agathis
when
or
the
no?
damage got transferred to it.
He'll that's in the best way he possibly can. He's gonna basically lay down on the floor, do the same thing that Saren basically did, lay down in between Nori and Koparin and fire off the boom shakalaka through the thing to try and detach it from Nori, hopefully.
Okay. You lie down, point your rapier up at this conjoined upper torso mass, put the rapier tip to the bottom of it, scream out the word. You see a flash of violet go from the hand that is around Nori's throat, travel down the arm into the torso, which actually increases the size of the torso for a moment before the violet connects with your rapier, goes down the rapier to the hilt. The entire blade starts to violently become violet. And with Racha screaming out, boom, shakalaka, sends the shot forward through the torso of whatever this is, completely cleaving it in two before it starts to seem to crack, and lines spiderweb the way across the arms for biceps and hands before shattering. Both of you can breathe again.
Or he just kind of collapses and just taking like.
And
Would the rest
you
of us have
definitely
seen
saw the
any
boom
of that?
shakalaka. It's just as loud as one of Racha's booming blades, and it's a giant violet stream that shoots up into the sky.
I'm guessing that Saren and Rashi are with
Yep.
the
Yeah,
Durgar guards, right?
you
Or
just
is
started
everyone
calming
caught
the
up now?
Duragar guards down. Like, oh no, it was defensive magic. There is a problem happening. It's not going to happen again. Don't worry. And then all of a sudden, behind you, you don't even want to turn around because you're just like,
As soon as Bryn hears that, she turns around, sees Nori fall to the ground, and just goes over to her, like practically runs however far
you're about
away she is.
10 feet.
Great, she's gonna get there really quick then.
What the hell was that?
Could Koparin
Nope.
see it after it grabbed him? No.
It's just Racha and I that could see it.
Born's just saying that out loud.
Arcane. Sorry. So arcane magic, you can see it, but not divine magic. Interesting.
I'm different.
Does it feel
What
any
was that?
different? I feel at my necklace. Does
Well, I
it
mean,
feel
your
any
whole
different? I'm
neck
concerned
is
about
quite
Trenton.
sore at the moment, but as far as the actual necklace itself, it doesn't seem to feel misshapen or anything.
After a full breath of air, Racha's gonna stand up and make an image of the torso holding onto Koparin and Nori's throats and looking all menacing as much as a disembodied torso can look.
Saren only saw up to what I think it was the elbow when
You
it was
did
on
not
him.
see it when it was on
and,
you. Nope.
Oh, I didn't. Looking at what Racha's showing.
Oh, you left
any
the
knowledge
whole
of
Durgar and
it at
Rashi
all,
thing?
No, but I thought it was visible.
Well, I mean, yeah,
no, but I
but
would
his
know
minor
about that.
illusion isn't that big, and
I would have assumed that the Durgar were like 5 to 10 feet away from me, and I would have literally just made like a 5
oh no,
foot
they're like a good
collage
70, 80
image
feet
of
away from you. They stayed further on the corner. You guys ran
then-
to the shop.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So yeah, if they're all that way, I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have looked at it. I wouldn't have noticed it.
Then I would have actually waited until they arrived then, because I assume they're going to want to come approach the person that fired a beacon into the air and have that ready for them.
Okay. So yes, they do eventually come over. And Rashi, your best. You get two options. You can't consult the group. This is going to be down to. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Am I within 30 feet?
Yes, but this is not a single thing. This is over the entire time that they're having a conversation. Correct.
Their persuasion, right? Cool. Cool. I'm proficient in that, so let's hopefully I rolled high.
Okay, so the Durgar guards, seeing that the majority of things are over with now, whatever was freaking your group out enough to do all these things, and no one is seemingly the subject of the magical spells. You get two options. Either you guys are no longer allowed in the inner city of Bagram. You can stay to the outside cart towns because Demlador has spoken on your behalf. One of the Demlador guards is with the Bagram guards. Or you guys can wear these anti-magic bracelets that when you're in the town, you have to keep them on, and you can only have them taken off once you leave.
Or he's going to stay outside
Nope,
the town.
like I said, this
She's
is
not
completely
sure.
up to Rashi to make this decision.
Fuck me.
Okay, so if so the bracelets would be on all of us as like a group, each single one of us.
Yeah,
would have
only
an
when you
anti-magic
come
bracelet?
into the town. So, like, once you leave the town, like the permanent section of the town, once you go in, you put the bracelet on. Once you leave, you take the bracelet off. Or the guards will do it for you, but yeah, same thing. Kind of like a going into an event, and you need the little paper bracelet to get in and get out.
Yeah, no, I got that. I just wanted to make sure it was all of us, that she wasn't. Well, if I just wanted to clarify if she was being excluded or not. But okay, and you said I can't consult the
Yeah,
group.
this
So
is
this
when
all
you're
just me.
talking with the guards, trying to calm them down of everything that's going on.
I think that thinking about her interactions with the group, and I'm talking this out loud. I already know my decision, but her interactions with the group so far, and her knowledge and everything of like the town and the Durgar and just the region and stuff. I'm going to choose the bracelets because I think that not having access to a semi-permanent town in this part of the world, so to speak, would be a detriment because you don't know where some of the nomadic towns might be. So if you know that there's a semi-permanent town somewhere, you have a better idea of like when you're planning travel and like restocking supplies and stuff.
Okay, so with that, as things calm down and the decision's been made, the group of guards come over to you all, and Racha, you make the minor illusion for the torso and everything, and almost immediately a bracelet gets slapped on your wrist, Racha, and the minor illusion fades. Bracelets are then handed to Kapoor, Nori, and Bryn, Saren, and Rashi.
Do they put it on us?
They're
or they
handing
just
and
handing
waiting
it to
for you to
us?
put them on.
Rashi puts hers on. as a show that it's not something that's like bad, and then when there's a chance, she will explain what the bracelets are for, and that you know we can role play that or not. It's up to others.
What are these?
Well, basically, they are anti-magic bracelets. So when we're in this town, or if we want to come into the actual town of Bagram, we have to wear these, and then when we leave the town, we can take them off. It was either that, or all of us get banned completely. And in this area, this is one of the only permanent towns or semi-permanent towns, and that's a resource that's very valuable when you're traveling. So I chose the anti-magic. You don't have to come into this town. If the caravan is nearby, you can stay in that area and you'll be fine. But in the actual town, all of us have to wear them, even me.
I kind of look at you and get really serious and go, I'll leave the town. I can't wear an anti magic thing. I made a promise.
That's okay. Once you get to the town edge, they'll take the bracelet off. If you know.
I can't. I made a promise. I'll leave the town. I'm glad to. I made a promise not to do something.
She has
And
a
with
bigger
that,
dilemma going on here.
it seems that some of the
Rashi
guards
said
speak
that-
common and grab, or at least understand what you're saying, and kind of take you behind the elbow, Bryn and Nori, and separate you two, and then start to move Nori towards the nearest exit of the town.
I wave back, just like, I'm okay.
I'll put the bracelet on and then follow.
Okay.
Saren will
Alright.
do the same thing.
Rashi said Rashi apologizes as everyone leaves. Apparently, we don't.
No, Rashi, I think you made the wise choice. I just don't want her to be alone.
I made the right decision. I would do it. I made a promise.
But if you all want to stay in here, please. Don't you don't need to follow.
I think it's important to figure out whatever caused Saren to do that flare with the ethereal, whatever that is. I don't know. I think that's important to figure out to see if it's really gone or not.
Yeah, I'd like to. Richa, I'll wait till we're all out because I won't. They're
Yeah.
dragging
Once you
me
guys
away
are all out,
essentially.
the wristbands are taken off.
I would actually stop Arashi from Bryn and Nori getting led away, and I guess Saren too, because Saren's going. But Racha would stop Arashi, knowing that she's speaking the language, needs to get some answers from this shop. So he'd sort of like be dragged
Oh yeah, no,
towards it.
she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't leave because this needs to be whatever happened needs to be figured out. She wouldn't leave. She would be staying. So like, you know, other sort of like become the shouting match, I guess, as they're being led away.
It's all good. So yeah, I guess it would be. I guess the group then divides into three. Saren, Nori, and Bryn are leaving, and then Racha. It's up to Kaparin if he's staying, I guess, but and then Racha and Rashi at the very least.
Gaboran has nothing. Well, as long as Bryn and them together, he's fine. Gaboran is more interested on what was going on.
As we're walking away, since I'm assuming Saren and I don't have guards on us since we're
Well, you guys
we
are
have
all being
bracelets on,
escorted
right?
in that direction
Well,
because one of you guys refuses to wear the bracelet. So.
gotcha. But if Saren or I broke off, they wouldn't like
Yeah.
follow us because we have the bracelet on. Okay. As I guess we're walking, before we get out, Saren, are you sure you don't want to stay back and figure out what that is? I think out of the two of us, you're probably better suited at that.
As much as I wouldn't mind from a scholar's perspective, when we were attacked by those things with Demlador, I had never seen anything, and it's likely that it's possibly something of the same vein. It's possible, but I don't believe I'd be able to contribute anything if anyone in this town could. It's most likely not me.
I mean, you might be better at getting the point across, though, about what you fought and then what happened. I mean, you had it happen to you. I know you said you couldn't see anything, but I didn't have it happen to me.
Stand your ground. We need a cool roleplay scene between Rashi and Richa.
Again, I could try, but I'm also not in the best. I'll hold my wrist up. The best. I'm no longer the best at communicating, so as far as things with the guards go, getting the point across probably won't be very well handled by me.
She'll nod at your answer, knowing that she tried to make you go back, but ultimately it's up to you.
Racha would then lead, at least if the dwarf is hanging out by the door.
Oh no, he's back inside.
Then he'd sort of gesture towards Rashi to knock on the door, or Kaparin, either one. But towards Kaparin, because Kaparin probably would understand him a little bit better, he's gonna go, "For the love of all that is holy, don't poke it."
This is where this all began, Richa.
And he just nods.
So is the door closed or is the door still open for the
It's
shop?
currently still open because there's about 4 guards inside talking with the shop owners.
Kaporin would probably head over to the shop and say, "Excuse me."
Yeah, so this is going to be a fun situation of Kaparin translates to Rashi what Rachad is saying, and then Rashi translates to the guards and the shop owner what Kaparin says.
Or Rashi figures it out on her own, one of the two. But we don't really have to head over to the shop. We're right in front of it. So I imagine, but I don't know if it'll fit all of us. I imagine
It's
it's not
big enough
that
to
big of a
hold
shop.
like 20 or so people, so it can handle a couple more.
Oh, okay, I was thinking you said it was like
yeah,
in between, stuck
no,
in between
as far as
stuff,
like
so
the
I figured it
actual
was like
construction of it
like
goes, it looks small, but
small
you know,
shop.
it's longer.
Oh, so it's
No,
size.
it's longer, so like there's enough to fit shelves in, and comparative to the stuff around it, it's small.
Oh, okay, all right, but inside it's okay. Okay, so then Rashi will walk inside and try and address the elder Dorgar because he probably is going to know more information than the younger one.
Racha would wait at the front step and not actually come back in, and as Rashi goes walking off, he'll mimic whatever the Durgar said to him as he was pointing his battle axe at him.
Rashi will nod and make say, like give a thumbs up that she understands what he said.
Okay, so after you come in and the Elder Duragar can see that Richaw's outside, um, he kind of says a few things to some of the Duragar guards. 2 of them turn around and look at you guys kind of up and down for a moment, kind of nod to the old man and walk outside, kind of giving Rashi, Racha, and Kaporin all a good once-over look, and then they just sit. They cross the street and stand with their backs against the wall, just looking at Kaporin and Racha.
Wonderful. I'm being watched now.
Which I would almost want him to like stop and like also be in the conversation. In all honesty.
Well, there's still 2 more inside.
Okay, just making sure.
So with that, Kaporan, we're
Yeah,
we're
you 2
outside
are
the door
outside.
right now.
Rashi is the only one that went in.
Kaporan would probably follow and have Racha stick close to behind him.
Rashi would turn around and tell you, Racha's not welcome. I think if both of you stood outside for a moment while I talk to them, then maybe I can get you to come in. But I think it'll make things more difficult since something happened and he does not like our bird friend.
Quite alright if Racha stays, but I will stay near the door to translate for him if you have any questions.
And Rashi will address the older dwarf. It's still morning, right?
Correct.
Okay. Good morning, sir. I'm apologize for all the kerfuffle.
Right.
Um, my new friend there, the bird, um, I'm not quite sure I understand it all, but there may be something attached to him that's not on physical like us, and it was harming
Oh,
some
I
of
don't
his
care.
friends.
What's fucking attached to him? All I know is that he was in my store and knocked half of it over, basically destroying 2 of my shelves, as you can see here, and knocking all my items all over the floor, leading me to have to clean them all back up by myself, because I'm the only one that knows where everything goes.
Oh, I apologize for that. So you wouldn't carry anything in your shop that would um, be invisible to people and be on like the ethereal plane at all?
I don't keep any magical items that will be from any ethereal plane. Everything that I have here is obviously visible, or else how would I be able to put it on my shelves?
Good point. Is there any sort of compensation I can offer you to help with the any broken things or broken shelves?
The shelves are easy enough to fix, and all my items are magical, so they didn't break. It's more just the pain in the ass of having to deal with it early in the morning when I'm still trying to get my morning nap in.
Um, can I help put things away? Like maybe put the shelves up for you, so you
No,
just have to
I've
worry about
had
the
quite
items?
enough help
As a
now that my son over here has to go through all this questioning from your new friend, involving him in some sort of in the streets magical escapades.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, and again, I'm very sorry. I'm not used to having to vouch for people, but they're not used to the things around here, so I'm gonna teach them some
Yeah, you
manners.
might be teaching that little bird over there maybe not to be touching anything and everything that he feels he fancies to touch.
Okay, thank you. Good day. And she will turn around and walk back out.
Did we listen to that whole
They were
thing? Were they
inside, you
close
guys were
enough or no?
outside.
I was in the doorway.
I mean, you would have heard like a word
that
here
mean-
or there when he got louder, but again, it's a language you don't understand.
Okay, yeah, makes
Gotcha.
sense.
So back with the group. She would address them in common. So whatever happened, whatever the thing is, I don't know if it's still there, but it's not from his shop. Um, I mean, being a magical shop, having invisible things would be kind of hard, so that makes sense from what he said. Um, but whatever it is, it might have just been hanging around there because it's a magic shop, and um, it looks like it, I don't know, got stronger or something, maybe? I don't know. I just saw people not breathing, and then it kept looking like other people were not breathing. I don't understand all of that stuff. That seems like Saren's thing, but we can go back and join them, and maybe you can retell what I'm telling you in a way that makes sense, or I can repeat it to Saren, and we can see what happened. But I don't think that we need to stay in the town any longer, so we might get our horses and head to Cumber.
Racha's gonna be visibly frustrated at the thought that it didn't happen in there, or it wasn't something in there, and he's actually going to head towards the shop, and at the front door, like immediately keep his hands up, like I'm not gonna do anything, but I'm coming in, kind of a gesture with his body language.
Kaporin, realizing that Richard is gonna do this, will follow behind him.
Racha and Kaporin, you guys don't understand it, but Rarashi, you do. You see the older Duragar man kind of stand up and brandish the war axe, which gets the attention of the two guards, and they immediately step in between him and you guys. Thought I told you to get out of my shop.
He will move towards the gloves that he poked and just point towards it and say, "Poked it." Go down the alley or the hallway towards the glasses he poked
Some
and
of
said,
those are on
"Poked it,"
shelves that are still
and
destroyed.
then okay, well, wherever they are, then he will poke.
Make
He'll say he
perception
poked it.
checks.
Then
The gauntlets are open. The glasses are hidden under debris. And what was the last thing you touched?
those
you
were
were
the only
going
two things I
towards.
touched, and then I was getting yanked. I got yanked towards the
Gotcha.
shelves after that.
Okay, so you do see the goggles in the debris.
So those were, I would say, that poked it to both of those two things, and then I would then reenact with as best of my mimicry as I possibly can, and using my own hand as the representation of the hand that was on my pouch, yank myself in, not actually destroy anything more, but say like, this is what happened with my body language.
Make a
in an
performance check.
interpretive dance.
Interpretive dance.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Right, but
Yeah.
from the Spaceballs version.
So you put on what you think is a decent performance, and even getting to Kaporin to help you, being the bag hand as you're trying to pull it away from the hand and whatnot. But it doesn't seem to ring a bell with either of the Durgar merchants or the two guards. Rashi, you would hear the older merchant say, "I don't have anything here that would be grabbing people off the shelves. I don't understand what he's getting on about. I don't keep." He turns to the guards and he's like, "I don't keep items in here that I know are going to randomly attack my patrons in my shop." We know. It's all right. Take it easy.
Rashi, from the door. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Being that she's in the doorway, but she understands the language, she would Sorry, I'm getting tired. Um, so the he doesn't that whatever you did, either he doesn't understand it or it's not something that he keeps in his shop because that's something that's harmful, and he says that he would never keep anything in the shop that would cause harm to people. He doesn't keep those kind of items around. So, it, again, it could have been something that maybe was hanging around here because it could. I don't know. I don't know enough about these things. I don't understand really. I believe what happened is not Richa's fault, and I believe that it just happened to be in this magic shop, but it's not anything that has to do with the items in the shop or the shopkeepers or the shop. So we could maybe search around the outside of the shop and see if we find something. I can uh, cast a spell that will
No, you can't.
light up magic-y stuff.
No one can
Oh
cast
yeah,
magic
no, I
now.
know. Yeah. Aha. And then she doesn't complete that sentence and is like, "Oh wait, the bracelet. Never mind. We could search around the shop regardless, outside of the shop regardless, and see if we find something though."
Um, Racha would, after hearing all of that, sort of relax a little bit more because it sounds like they sort of at least understood the majority of what he said. And he'll just sort of approach cautiously, of course, but uh, with the anti-magic thing on us, do our magic items deactivate too? Like, could I reach into my coin purse or no?
You could reach in your coin purse and there'd actually be coin in it now. Yeah, so it gets deactivated,
So,
but all the stuff still like, you know what I mean?
gotcha. So he would then sort of do a bow, say, "I'm sorry, my sentiments are not the same," and hand over 200 trillion.
He sees the money, takes it in his hand, and goes, "All right, you're okay with me, Bert."
Money, the language of the universe.
Language of merchants.
Kaporin still looking at dumbfounded Richard's like, where are you getting all this money from? But it's like, well, it seems to be better.
And just sort of like gesture towards my coin purse, like, "What do you mean?" Like,
Kaporin will
Well, you
understand where
see,
you're pulling this money from, or
from,
where you
his
got
coin
all
purse
of
is
it.
nice and fat right now.
Oh, because it's not magical now. I can see that it's
Full to the brim,
plump.
yeah.
it's probably, I think it's a pound per 50, right? So it's upwards of like 25 pounds.
Kaporin's doing like the what are those action, and just like, where the what?
Okay, we um Rashi is like, well, good, gives a thumbs up to Rashawn and says, we should probably go now. We have concluded here.
He'll just sort of nod and sort of let out a sigh, and he'll apologize to the guards too for what he did, but he's like more or less of, it's definitely not as sincere. It's like he did what he had to do.
Yeah. And they're just doing their job too.
Exactly, and he understands that, but doesn't have to like it. When
Don't worry, they don't. They understand you,
we'll
and they
head
don't
out
have to
then.
like it either.
But I'll do a cursory like look around to see if I can notice anything that was like what could have even remotely happened, like why this thing all of a sudden picked me, and then it was clearly more annoyed with me and Nori, it seemed, because we could see it and it reacted to the effects of Trentamir. So I'm more or less saying like I kind of want to look around the area to see if I can see anything
Give
Trentamir-esque
me
or
an
related.
investigation check. You don't see shit.
At least I made amends with the guy. So if I don't see anything, I will head on back to the group then.
Kaporan follows, and we head out of the town.
Okay. Rasha, are you following along?
Well, yeah. If they're not gonna search around the outside
Well,
of the
Rich already
shop,
did
she's
that.
gonna follow them.
I did
Oh.
search. I failed horribly. You feel
Oh
free
no,
to look
I,
as well.
I saw the fail. I just didn't realize you were searching outside. I thought you were searching inside for some reason.
Yeah, no. Feel free to look around too, you guys, if you really wanted to. Hint, hint.
Nope. Everyone said they're going.
Well, since I'm the one who suggested we look around, I feel like I
Yeah,
would
go
get
for
a
it.
roll for that, since it wasn't clear he was searching outside.
Investigation.
What's the roll that I need to make?
He wouldn't know what I'm even looking for, so it's all good.
Looking around, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. It's just a dirt road.
Okay. I don't know why it pops up twice. That's so weird. But okay, then I guess we're leaving the town. Woo!
Ladies,
Sorry.
is there anything you guys would like to be discussing or doing while they were doing that?
Think so. I think I'd be waiting to come back to. Because I have a theory. Whether or not it's correct is up for debate, but I want to wait till the rest of the group is back to voice that.
I feel like Bryn would have probably just made her way back to wherever the horses are and wherever we were based for the night. Just sorry, my phone went weird. And make sure Nori is okay if she can get anything for her. If not, just do the coupley things that they might do, since it's not the whole group. It's just Saren there if he has
Saren
stayed
just
with
being
us.
the third wheel.
Saren is being a third wheel right now, but whenever they got back to camp, he's gonna take out his box and he's gonna try and very gingerly take his dagger and see if he can force open the seam that he found earlier.
Okay. So you find the seam and point the tip of the dagger into it, and you start to apply pressure. The seam doesn't really grow in any separation, but the dagger does start to slide into it.
How far can it slide in?
However far you want to push.
I guess I'm gonna put it on the ground so I don't like stab myself by holding on
Yeah.
to the side if it goes right through. But I'll put it on the ground and I'll just see how far
Okay.
it goes.
So you keep sliding and pushing the dagger. It gives you a little bit resistance there now and again. But you get to the point where you're like, you should start seeing the other side of the dagger coming through, and it doesn't.
Does it move? Can I move it at all from side to side?
You can like kind of drag it left and right.
Yeah, to the edges of
Yeah,
the
you can
box.
drag it left and right, but you still don't see like the other side of the blade sticking out. You after you get done sliding it from side to side, you kind of instinctually go to like re-grip it to possibly get a better handling on it, and as you like let go of it, the dagger hilt just falls to the ground. It seems that the dagger that you were pushing in has either melted or disappeared off the end of the dagger. It is now just a handle.
Does he walk up and I see this?
No, this is while you guys are having your conversations.
Saren's just going to he's gonna tap where the dagger was pushed in to see if there's any resistance.
Nope. Well, I mean, like, what do you mean resistance? If you're
Like if I tap right where the
No.
seam was, does my hand go through or does it
no,
stop?
it stops.
I pull out
Okay.
a piece of trillium. Am I
No.
able to force it through?
The dagger tip is a fine point, whereas trillium is not as thin or skinny enough to get in the actual seam.
I was just testing whether it's like inorganic versus organic material.
It's more of a size thing.
I mean, all I am thinking is Monty Python. Like, it's not a question of where he grips it.
I take out my flask
Okay.
of water, and I'm gonna try and pour it into the seam.
Okay. A large majority of the water kind of like
Much of it just
bubbles over and spills off the sides of the box, but it does seem that some of the water disappears. Actually, a hissing noise can be heard, and vapor or steam starts to come out of where you're pouring it in. I need you to make a con save.
Ooh, that's nasty. Nat 20.
What's your con modifier?
Probably not high enough.
Nope.
Only one with that con damage.
7, 9, 12, 16, 22, 24, 25, 31 points of acid damage. Sorry, poison damage.
Saren, are you okay?
And Saren knocks out.
Saren's not okay, but
You're not unconscious, you're just I mean
You
you
see
are
this?
unconscious, but not like death saving throw unconscious. You guys are having all lovey-dovey moments, so you don't see this. Because Saren's back at the camp and you guys have gone off to go do date things.
Well, wonderful.
So basically, Kaparan, Rashi, and Rachad return to where they were at and find Saren unconscious on the ground.
Yeah, you find Saren unconscious, no eyebrows, and a good portion of the front of his hair completely gone.
was I'm sorry. Was that
Poison.
poison or acid damage?
Kaporin pokes it. Pokes it, Saren.
Still unconscious.
Do I know? Do I notice? I mean, besides his hair being and facial hair being charred, do I notice that there's poison?
There is no poison residue
anywhere?
anywhere.
Okay.
Rashi immediately does a first level cure wounds on him because clearly he is hurt.
Okay. And that does wake him up.
Saren, what happened to you?
I immediately sit up and look for the box.
Yep,
Is
still
it
right in front of you.
still nearby?
Oops. I don't know why it came up twice, sorry, but Saren has 10 hit points, I guess.
I'm Oh shit! I might have just moved. Yeah, I didn't mean to. Sorry. I I made a discovery with the box which Raw found.
And the discovery was melting your face off?
He gives I guess he would know, so he just gives Kaporan a little bit of a blank stare, I guess. No,
Kaborn will pull his mirror out from his bag if you'd like. Kaborn will pulls out his mirror from his kit to show Saren his face.
Oh no, I was gonna say spare him.
Yeah, you look in the mirror and you see that your eyebrows are completely gone and a good majority of the front half of your forehead.
just the hair
Just the
on
hair
it, or
on it.
just
So,
it's
like,
gone.
where your hairline would start, about 3 inches back in a crescent shape.
That's real awkward. We're on the outside of Demlador now,
Bagram.
so or like we're in Demlador.
You're in Bagram, and yes, the bracelets are off.
Well, I guess fucking disguise self, and I'm gonna get my hair back.
Though it may look like you have the hair there, you know. Everyone around you knows. It's not.
It's a band-aid, okay?
It's just hair.
He's bulldozing over it. No, but I was able to get something inside of the box.
Did it come out of the box?
No, as far as I can tell, there's definitely something very destructive inside of it. I guess I'll look around for the hilt
Yeah, it's there on the
of
floor.
my dagger. I'll pick it up and it is any of the blade left on it, or is it like a clean break, like it
No,
like
there's
snap?
a little bit of the blade, but it's a very sharp line.
It doesn't look like it was melted. It looks like it was kind of like snap, like it was just molecularly cut.
To a degree, I guess. Yeah, you could say that.
I managed to get most of my dagger inside, and then it well, as you can see, and I'll hold it up for emphasis. It's a little beyond use now, and he'll drop it.
Rashi, you could actually take the
Well,
dagger hilt, and that would equate to about 2 gold's worth of material.
Yay! She will pick it up off the ground
So you put
and
2
put it in her
gold
backpack.
worth of iron.
Racha would offer Saren his backup dagger.
well, Saren, it looks like you handled that situation interestingly.
Saren will take the dagger.
Do you need to be healed more? I just thought you might be dying, so I just gave you something small.
Whatever that was definitely did pack quite a punch. And in case you're curious, all I did was pour water on it.
Wow, that item seems very dangerous if it did what it did. She will cast a 4th level Cure Wounds.
Does it help with his hair?
You wouldn't be able to tell.
All right, the illusion's up right now.
I will reach up under the illusion
Nope.
and see if I can feel anything, but I don't drop the illusion.
Yeah, I mean, technically, hair is dead, so healing wouldn't really help hair.
You have to revivify your hair.
Spend a 300 GP diamond to bring back your hair.
But the question is, does it bring back a single strand of hair, or like the
No,
whole area
hair is
of hair?
dead once it moves out of your scalp, so you can't revive hair. It's like fingernails.
It's like
I
just
know.
sounds
I'm
funnier when you
just
say it. It
not
sounds
even gonna
funny.
talk that talk.
Well, Saren, it's glad that you didn't die from experimenting with your box, but so all you learned is that if you pour water, it attempts to murder you?
Well, I don't believe it attempted. I think something is inside the box that reacted to the water. But I definitely believe that there is at least of some sort, possibly a pocket dimension in the box. I did manage to get the entire dagger into it, and it never popped out the other side. So
Maybe if water didn't work, some heat? Could you try to heat it somehow? I mean, it is made out of stone, correct?
perhaps not tonight.
Or the flamethrower.
That's code for not while I'm on 10 hit points.
That's code for I'm already missing half my hair.
Uh, Dude, I healed you for 21, so you have more than 10 hit points. Check.
No, I'm healed, but I'm still, fucked up. So not tonight.
He doesn't have the heart to try again before he actually dies.
He doesn't want to be completely bald, is what the real reason is.
He is,
Richaw has
he is a
a
high elf.
coconut helmet for him if he needs it.
He needs it. I'm definitely using that if we ever start playing with it.
Note to self: find more coconuts for helmets.
Coconuts, helmets /
literally-
hair protectors.
I was gonna say there's literally like a leather shop you could buy a cap from, I'm sure, but he wants his coconut helmet.
We could buy a leather cap and goggles and probably a lot more protective gear for what we're doing, but coconuts sound safe enough.
On that note, Saren actually he'll try and find the tailor that he went to on their first day of Demlador, and he's gonna try and get a hood added to his cloak.
Easy enough to do, and it'd be about 3 trillium to do so. 3 trillium to attach it, and about 2. So 5 trillium altogether for materials and work.
Is that hood long enough to like
Yes.
completely obscure? Right. Okay. And then I'll head back to the group and drop the spell and just
Double-sided tape on the inside of it so it never comes off your head.
It's permanently bonding with his cloak.
All right, guys. Anything else anyone wants to do?
Well, when we get back, I do want to talk about whatever the fuck that was.
Okay. Well, everyone is back together again.
So, Saren still has an illusion up, so I wouldn't know
No,
anything.
he came
would
back with a hood on his robe, and it is over his head.
Raise an eyebrow, but I don't say anything, and I go, "Okay, so about that weird hand thing. So it was.
It wasn't Racha's fault.
I figured as much. He's never doing anything malicious to be malicious, but so it was just going after the most powerful magic. Because when one person would cast a spell, well, I guess not. Caparin, you cast a lower level healing word, correct?
What are spell levels?
Powerful
It
healing
looked
word.
it looked like it still healed. It hurt him too, from what I was watching. So all of you that did something got choked.
But no one else could see the hands.
Racha would just point towards her and himself. Only.
Nothing happened after Saren did the thing up to the sky, or at least to him.
He was also a couple feet away.
I want to
Also-
know if it's still here. Is it still here?
No, he very much destroyed it with his sword.
Do I get the sense that if I say boom shakalaka right now, is it going to go off?
No.
All right, then he will say boom shakalaka with his rapier and make like a gesture with his hands that one goes.
Oh, that's what that sound was. Okay.
He's a cool sword, but I was just worried about it grabbing onto my neck and then suddenly getting powerful. Because my necklace is. Yeah. I kind of look over at Rashi. I'm not sure. I don't trust her yet, so I just go, I'm worried that it was trying to drain my magic.
Yeah, you store your magic in your necklace. That's like a focal point or something, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Behind Nori, so she can't see. Bryn's gonna just hold up like two little fingers, like, yeah, a little bit.
Was that in Rashi's direction? Like, you're kind of right.
Yeah, that's it, definitely. Because she's like, you need a little bit of information, but she definitely doesn't want to tell you Nori's business.
Every time I've told someone something, it's blown up in my face, and I'd rather not have that happen. So I think I look at Racha, and cause it's like only we were able to see it. So I'm wondering if it was because we're connected.
Well, you don't. Never mind. I was gonna say it might be the kind of magic, but Corporan casts healing spells like I do, so that would be the same kind of magic, and it affected him, so it's not type of magic.
Get the river at the source.
The I forgot the name of the dude they're trying to go find, but I want to say it's Qatar, but that sounds wrong.
It is Qatar. I guess I'll speak up for everybody.
Sweet, I did remember. Qatar might be able to help figure it out, because I don't think us going back and forth, like, none of us have enough information, I think.
Am I able to on Rashi's point of like worried that it's still around, am I able to open that bag now or no?
Yeah, you're. Oh, that bag. Yeah, it's openable.
All right, so it doesn't seem like that
No.
hand is there still.
I think he killed it.
All right, well, he'll relax a little bit at that, and then palm his vial of yellow paint.
It's still intact.
I mean, I know you wanted to go to Kember to see your mother, but if you think Qatar might have any information, I guess it'd be helpful, especially since we have to speak with him anyways.
Yeah, I just wanted to check in on her. It's been a bit since I've gone back there, and her request to me was kind of odd, so I worry that she might be sick or something. So it'd be nice to like check in, and we could probably get more supplies if we need anything. And Qatar's like not that far away from from Kimber, so we have to go that direction anyway.
Have you ever been there yourself, or have you just heard of people going to him?
Oh, I've just heard of people going to him. I never did the trading, but my mentor Balar, some of the other Durgar, he told me they go and trade with him for like special items they can't get anywhere else, and somehow he always is able to give them what they need. But like he's a hermit and lives out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know how he does that. And I was kind of basically told not to worry about it since I was an apprentice and still didn't need to do any of that. So he just seems like it just seems like he might know something since he gets really obscure things for some of the Durgar's creations.
And your mentor, he's in Demnador, or is he somewhere else?
No, he's in Kimber.
In Kember, I see. Okay.
I mean, I assume so. He was kind of semi-retiring when I left, so I imagine he might still be there, but he might have decided to travel too. Who knows?
Then let's hope he's still there. It sounds like he's going to be our way to get to Qatar, since you've never been there.
Sounds like a plan to me. I don't want to step on anybody. I don't know what the leadership structure is here. People kind of seem to turn to you the most. I think it's because you're tall.
Kaporin, like, well, that would make I'm the leader, but that doesn't make any sense.
Racha points towards Bryn and goes, "The leader."
Rashi nods like, yeah, duh.
Nori just
Well, I never.
Well, I was kind of making a very bad joke. Like, like, Bryn, you wear armor and know how to carry yourself around, so I assume that you've done similar guard duties or something, so you seem like a more of a natural leader. Sorry, Corporan.
You're not wrong. I'm part of the military, so you got that part. Or I was, I should say.
Kaporin is just gonna begin sulking, just like, how dare they say I'm not a leader? What?
Perrin, did you think you were the leader?
No, but it still hurts.
Then why are you sulking?
Kaporin turns around and just does not answer.
As a sleight of hand as possible, Racha's actually going to lean towards Rashi and then thumbs towards himself and go, "The leader."
Like, does that so for no one else hears him do that? Just Rashi.
That'd be
To the best of my
self-check.
ability, let's see if I could actually.
Oh yeah.
He does it.
That's the highest roll I've rolled today.
Rashi leans in and goes, "I know." She whispers, sorry, I don't know if you
Yeah,
heard
we
that
heard.
because I whispered that.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm used to playing around real people in real life. She whispers back to him, I know. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all good. He just sort of
But
winks.
not in a sarcastic way. Like, she's, I think he's like kind of playing, but not playing. So
Well, I mean,
she
for
kind of tries to
Rashi's sake, I mean, as
mimic
far as
that
things that
more
have
or
happened
less.
recently, with that whole thing, you saw Rachal multiple times now do this giant explosive attack. So as far as power goes, Rachal's a lot of power in a little package.
He's being
Yeah,
packed.
yeah. But she's still like learning his speech habits. So like, it sounds like he's being serious, but also like he might be playing. So she would kind of, just sort of play along, I guess. If that makes sense.
There's a large mix of emotions for Rashi about what just happened.
Yeah, basically. Like, because he seems super smart and clever, but then he acts very much like a child. So she's like, I don't understand. These two things shouldn't work together.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you guys would like to do before you settle in for a bit of rest that some of you kind of desperately need?
Yes, please. I haven't slept in so long.
Is Rashi sleeping near
That's
us?
up to Rashi.
Are we
You're
in
the,
Demlador? Are we
outer.
like?
So Demlador basically kind of split up and circled and encircled the carts and the actual town of Bakram. So you guys are in the outer circle of Demlador carts, but none of the guards are Demlador guards. All the Demlador guards are currently taking a much-needed vacation.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, she would sleep near them, because they're kind of like a unit at the moment, and she's not on guard duty. So,
Roger that. So there's your answer, Saren.
Something I really want to do, but Saren's gonna wait on it. So he'll just be going to sleep.
Last thing while Saren's asleep, I would like to use the yellow
Yes.
the
Sleight
yellow
of hand.
paint to try and paint eyebrows
Sleight of hand.
No,
eyebrows and hair on.
no.
do it. Do the hair too. Do the hair. Do his head if you can.
Bardic inspiration. Let's go.
What? I don't think your passive perception is that high, is it?
No.
What is your passive
Only mine.
perception? I was gonna give you a +5 to it too, since it's actually touching you. Yep. So, you paint on the eyebrows onto Saren.
Yeah, just a little bit of the try. It's the best he could do. He's genuinely
Okay,
trying to
give me
be
a
nice
performance
and
check.
give you a little bit of a thing, but
And here comes the low roll. Here comes the low roll. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh man, you jinxed
I wasn't
it.
jinxing it. I wanted the low roll.
he did genuinely.
It looks
try,
like two
but
Nike
it
swooshes
didn't come out
over each of his eyes.
I mean, that's better than what I was picturing. So
It's two
it's not
yellow
bad,
Nike
actually.
swooshes over eyes.
Imagine
Oh yeah,
them a
like
little uneven.
they don't match up correctly. One's kind of tilted at an angle, and
He rolled over in his sleep, and I had to like readjust.
it looks like
in the
he's
middle of
got
it,
one
and I'm like, oh,
eyebrow up at all times now.
I mean, that kind of fits, right? Like that inquisitive thing, but that's fucking great. Rashi is trying not to laugh out loud so hard right now.
Richaw has just become Saren's first victim in his new life as a serial killer.
Why? No one's gonna tell you it's there, and Kaporn's not gonna give you his mirror. So good luck with that.
Well, the thing about paint is you can feel it when you move your face.
It's pretty thick. It's not gonna be. It's not like
Yeah, this
it's
is
not
supposed to
gonna
be
be
like leather
obvious
paint
for sure.
So putting it on someone's face, once he like
yeah,
wakes up and
definitely.
yawns, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is on my forehead?"
Yeah, pretty much. or if he rolls over and like wipes his face in the middle of the night, he's gonna see yellow paint on his hand and be like, "What the hell?"
I mean, let's be real. Not all of us are gonna be able to keep a straight face when
I
we
don't
wake
think,
up.
besides Richaw, I don't think
No.
any of you could. I'd make that DC real
I
high.
mean, I'm sorry, I'm just laughing so hard. That's so funny. Oh my god, that's great. Did you try to do his head too, or
Yeah,
is
he's got his
does he
cloak up.
wearing his cloak over his head, just not his? Because that would have been hilarious if there was just like a thing
Yeah.
of yellow paint. on
Comb
his head.
over like style. He would have tried, but not if
Yeah,
the hood
no.
was too much of an issue. He
You're
would
trying to be successful, so. All right. Well, if nothing else happens for the night, you all are able to get an uneasy yet much needed long rest. Some of you going down to sleep a little bit later than others. Some able to witness the Richaw's masterpiece firsthand. But nevertheless, you guys get your long rest. And though you had some successes today, and you also had some failures, and a lot more questions have been brought up. But that's where we're going to end tonight's session, guys. Does anyone have any specific
Sounds
questions?
good.
I mean, that's a perfect place.
Just have to say, this is the hardest I've laughed during a session in a long time.
Oh, it's probably going to be more hilarious when Saren wakes up and actually realizes what happened, because
Yeah,
then
then
we're just
Kaporn gets
going to
mind
all
spiked.
laugh again.
Oh, I don't feel so bad if that's the case.
You know, and I'm not surprised that it would be me, because Saren would automatically think that I tried to mess with him or something.
So, any clarifying questions?
No, but I would like to clarify. All possible suspects are paying, and I have seen Richaw with yellow paint before,
Correct.
so Kaporn, you won't be alone in your suffering.
Oh, thank you, Saren. We're on such great terms right now.
Alrighty, guys. So, if you do have any questions, feel free to message me, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. If I don't talk to you all before then, I will see you all Thursday. Have a great night.
Night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. It's been fun.
That was
Yay.
beautiful.
And thank you all for being with us. Hope you have a wonderful night. And not to rip off someone, but is it Thursday yet? conversation. He goes, I've noticed a little thing between you and Bryn.
What?
Nothing.
No matter what happens, I want you all to stay together, and I want you to do what you need to do to get out of here. Don't worry about me. Help as you can if you can. But mostly worry about yourselves, okay?
I'm not leaving you alone. You can do this.
If anything happens, I want to know that you will be okay.
I'll be safe.